Okay, here we go. Okay, we are live right now. Doing a late night stream. I haven't done one in a long time. Yeah, I wanted to still stream tonight. Sorry that I started like I started the stream like a bit late tonight, guys. I just had like a lot of stuff to do, but I didn't forget. I still wanted to stream tonight, and you know, tomorrow I'll have the GT Online video up and the yeah, and the next Godfather part. Let's see here. Okay. Hello, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a great day. Can you guys hear me good? Yeah. Okay. Well, it's Monday night for me, so that's like, that's that, but yeah, yeah, there's two reasons why I started the stream kind of late today, because it was just the GTA 5 lore video. I've just been working on that most of the day. That should be ready by, Saturday, and then the Saints Row lore video is going to be on Wednesday, and then tomorrow the GTA Online video. Yeah, it was also, I also had that stupid glitch. Do you know that glitch when in a friends-only session, when you try to, when you're in a friends-only session and somebody tries to join you and it says player is like no longer in session? Like, I had that glitch for like half an hour, so I was trying to fix it. So that's you know, that's taken care of. If you have that glitch where it's you try to join a friend and it keeps saying player is no longer in session, basically eventually you'll find one friend where it'll work with. So you gotta just keep trying to join, and then like if you want to control that lobby, you know, you ask your friend afterwards to leave, and then when they leave, you're the host, so it's whoever's last left in the lobby. Okay, let's see here, hello, okay, hey guys, hope you're doing okay. You're my YouTuber, thank you. Hey GB, hey Ghost, hey Mr. Waifu. Saints Row review, the review will be up tomorrow. Can you guys hear me and everything good? Everything sounds good? What percentage am I at in Vice City Stories? I'm not sure, I'd have to check again. But eventually we'll complete Vice City Stories, and we'll take care of that too. Let me help Kay here. I hear talk about GTA 6. Well, people are worried that it might be political. That's what it's the concern is about, Mister. Do you think the new boss from Saints Row 4 could go into Cringe Row universe and kill everyone and turn Santo Alesso into glass? Well, I can imagine that a lot of the Saints Row characters would get really angry. I can imagine that. Okay, I'll call it. Okay, Jay. Oh, okay, Mark. Send me an invite. And, you know, yeah, so this is, like, the last time that I'm going to be streaming, like, Monday night. Sorry about that, you know. The schedule is going back to normal, so Friday night, and then Friday afternoon, and then Saturday afternoon for, like, Red Dead and GTA streams. What happened to Johnny Gad in the reboot? Is he still dead, or is he alive and kill all rival gangs? Johnny Gad does not exist in the reboot. He just doesn't. But I could imagine, like, you know, Johnny, for instance, could, like, freak out if, you know, he tries to meet the characters in the Saints Row reboot. Can you guys send me an invite to the, can you guys send me an invite to the session, Jay? My favorite Rockstar character? Probably Nico. Hey, Pro, will you consider doing the Getaway soon? Yes, I don't know about soon necessarily, but, I want to play the Getaway. Why Monday instead of Sunday? Because I had to do something on Sunday. It was a lore video that I was recording, and it was, you know, it was just taking up the whole day, and so that's why I couldn't stream on Sunday. Hey Pro, how do I join the session? I have full businesses, and I haven't found anyone to help me. You would have to have me added though, Chris, to join the session though. But I can, if I don't have you added, I can try to add you after the stream. I just can't add anyone during the stream. I would have to find someone to delete, and I just don't want the griefers to see my friends list also. But I could try to add you for the future if you want. Is Volition dead? Well, they got acquired by Gearbox, I believe. Jay, can you please invite me to the business? I just want to help you sell. Yes, there's gonna be more GTA 4 lore videos. Yes, I actually started writing the script for the a Lost a lore video. Would I ever do any Splinter Cell games? Maybe one day. I don't know. We'll have to see. Just waiting for the invite to the business here. Hey Pro, just wondering how you're holding up and doing. You seem like you work very hard, just checking your mental health. Thank you. And thank you for asking about my mental health, Ghost. Yeah, I've just today, I just had a lot of work today, like a lot of stuff to do. So I'm sorry for starting up the stream kind of late today, guys. Yeah, I've been having so much work lately. Didn't get that much. I haven't gotten that good of sleep in the last few days. I've been waking up every few hours.
You're bikers.
Don't worry about it, Pro. I'm a night owl anyways. Well, thank you, Hesh. The best GTA mission in your opinion? The best GTA mission of all time would be End of the Line in GTA San Andreas. That's the final mission in the game. That's the best one. You know, you just fight through Big Smoke's crack palace, you know, confront Big Smoke, defeat him in like a boss battle, fight out of it, and then chase Tenpenny in like this huge, like, you know, chase around the city that goes crazy. After you finish Godfather and possibly the Saboteur, could you possibly do the Max Payne trilogy next? It'll be an interesting experience. Thank you, JD. Yeah, I could possibly do the Max Payne series again. I'd have to find a jacket like he has in the game, but I could try to do that. Yes. Notice how the story begins in Grove Street, ends in Grove Street. Yeah, and also like they go a full cycle around the map. Like it starts in Los Santos in Grove Street, and you know, goes to the countryside, and then, you know, I think Red County. It was and then it went from the countryside to like San Fierro, and then from San Fierro it went to the desert, and then from the desert Las Venturas, and then back to Los Santos again. Try to get some sleep. Your mental health comes first. Well, I mean, I wanted to do my stream today. I promised my stream, and so I wanted to, you know, keep that. I slept in the daytime earlier, like in the few hours ago. I actually fell asleep for like 2 hours. It was just yeah. But I just have so many projects coming out this week. Someone in your chat mentioned that there's a bot or a scam in your Godfather 2. Okay, thank you for telling me, Eric. I will check it out in just 1 second here. I hate those bots. I'm going to deal with it in a moment here. Favorite Saints Row character and why? For me, it's Pierce, to be honest. Thank you. Favorite Saints Row character? Probably have to be Johnny. Yeah, maybe the boss, but the boss, I just like the boss's personality in Saints Row 2, but if not the boss, I'd say it would be Johnny. Thank you, Aaron, for that super chat. Okay, I'll deal with that bot in a moment here, guys. Let me just get on over to the drop-off. Okay, thank you for subscribing, man. Okay. And thank you, Machado. Thank you for subscribing. 'Cause, 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 ' Well, the Toreador would probably win because it has a little bit of the better missiles, but, you know, Oppressor Mark II can dodge a lot, too. Or try to. The Toreador missiles will be a bit harder to dodge, but it's, Do you watch the World Cup? No, I really haven't. I just haven't had the time. Do you think GTA 5 will go down as the most overrated GTA game of all time? Well, thank you for the super chat, Kel. A little bit of a complicated question, but let me also I'm just gonna ban those bots also from the Godfather playthrough because people are telling me on the Godfather part that there's bots. Let me just look here. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Oh, I see the stupid bot. Okay. Okay, I banned the bot from the Godfather playthrough. Sorry about that, everyone. But you're asking me, okay, is GTA 5 the most overrated GTA game? Well, I don't know if there would be such a thing as overrated, because every GTA game is really good. Like, overrated generally means that it's, you know, not as good as, you know, the praise that people give it. So I would say that it's a I would say that how would I say this? GTA 5 is a great game, but I think that there's personally like a lot of like younger people that play like GTA 5, for example, and a lot of the younger people that play like GTA 5, they never really have played the other GTA games, and I mean, I guess it's fine if they hadn't ever played the other GTA games, but my personal issue with it is that when they haven't played any of the older GTA games, and then when you ask them about it, they just say GTA 5 is like the best GTA game. Like, you know, you ask them about, you know, is GTA 5 better than GTA 4? They'll say yes. You know, is GTA 5 better than GTA San Andreas? They'll say yes. And so, you know, it's fine to have that opinion, if that's your opinion. But I personally think that it's stupid to think that GTA 5 is the best GTA if you haven't played the other GTA games. Like, I don't know how somebody can say that GTA 5 is the best GTA when they haven't played the other GTA games like GTA 4. Once you play GTA 4, and at least play GTA 4 and GTA San Andreas. If you play those games and then you say GTA 5 is still the best GTA game in your opinion, that's fine. But it's just, I personally have a hard time taking somebody's opinion seriously if they haven't played the other GTA games and then they try to, you know, say that GTA 5 is the best one. You could definitely argue GTA 5 has the best online. You know, online didn't exist in GTA 4, and there was multiplayer in Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, but it wasn't online. It was local. But yeah, in GTA 5, you know, the online is great, but if you're just, you know, looking at the single player, I would say that probably GTA 4 is probably my favorite one in that regards. My gamer tag is Menards. Okay. Wait, gamer tag, Chris. Thank you for the super chat, man. Are you on Xbox? You said gamer tag because I'm on PlayStation 5. I mean, I do have an Xbox One, but you know, I just, you know, use it mostly for Saints Row 1 and 2. Complete to collect the air checkpoints. Do not, don't start the next business yet, please, Jay. Let me just do this challenge, because I actually really like doing the air checkpoints challenge.
Hello.
It's actually my favorite free mode event.
Sure. Have a nice day.
Have you played GTA San Andreas multiplayer mod before? Yes, I did play it some time ago. I haven't played it in many years, but I did play it in the past, yes. Hey, Pro, I'm on PS5 too. Is that your PS5 though? The PSN, the one that you sent me? me see here. Let me see here. Are you still considering doing a lore video on Micah? Yes. Favorite gun in GTA, favorite gun in Modern Warfare 2. My favorite gun in Modern Warfare 2 is AK-47, or the Kastov 7.62. I really don't care if a YouTuber makes a video about me, honestly. I really don't. Like, you know, another YouTuber can make a video attacking me, criticizing me, it's whatever. It's their right to do so. Whenever I do make a video mentioning that, something like that, I don't mention YouTuber names. You know, you look at my Clickbait video, I didn't mention any YouTuber names. But, you know, people can, you know, make videos, you know, attacking me, that's fine, it's their opinion. I don't, respond, I don't do the whole drama, crap, so it's, I have to fight with this controller as I'm, like, flying the plane, because I actually, this controller recently got stick drift, and so it's, like, you know, tilting to the side, and it's just really annoying, man. Sony has to get their crap together. It's ridiculous that, like, it's ridiculous that there's a, yeah, ridiculous that PS5 controllers. Well, a lot of people have done that to me in the past, Jay. You see GTA December DLC leaks? No. I don't follow those leaks. I personally don't believe a lot of that stuff. Yeah, plane is always more effective in collecting air checkpoints than anything else. Ah, come on. Yeah, damn stick drift. Like, man, at one point I'm gonna smash this controller because it's gotten really annoying with the stick drift. Is there like any way I can fix this controller, guys, when it has stick drift? Like, is there like nothing I can do about it? Is this controller like busted? I'm gonna be visiting family for Thanksgiving, though. I have another controller at my parents' house. That one's perfectly fine, but this one just, you know, got stick drift just a few days ago, which is just really annoying. I didn't think it was gonna happen to this controller too, but it did, because it happened to my last one. Okay, just 1 second, guys. Look at the chat in a moment here. Source code got leaked? Source code for what? Okay, thank you, Mark. Oh yeah, that one. That I definitely remember that one, Jay. I don't understand why people have to be toxic like that. Okay, let's see here. Ah, damn. Yeah, stupid stick drift. Like, you know, you just want to smash the controller, right? And it's like when you try to play any kind of game where you're using a scope, like especially a sniper rifle, like, you know, stick drift makes it almost impossible. GTA 5 source code for what? The next update? Okay, we almost got all of them. This 30, damn. I can normally hit every checkpoint like no problem, but the stick drift makes it a bit annoying. Okay, let's see if we can get them all. Okay, 18 left. No, it's not true, Jay. get over here. Get these here. Okay. Here we go. All of them. My god, this stick drift is ridiculous. Yeah, you guys see how I'm flying right now? Look at this. This is ridiculous. And even with stick drift, I'm still fighting it. So it's just, Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see if I can land this thing and look at the chat right now. Oh my god, yeah, that's so annoying. Okay, Chris, thank you for telling me. What can we see here? Have you played GTA San Andreas multiplayer? Yes, third stream to pass. Hey, Pro, can you hit the gritty? Wait, what? What, Edgy? I'm confused. What is that? Brad finished watching Saints Row 2 and he thought it was awesome. Speaking of which, I recently got Saints Row 2 on Steam for $250. Best deal for a game ever. Yes, Saints Row 2 is one of the best games, but the thing is though, the PC version of Saints Row 2 is not a as good as the console version. It's a lot of very glitchy. It doesn't have the DLC either. They never fixed the PC version. Thank you, DL Gaming. Hey Eric, hey Pro, how are you? I found out yesterday that my favorite Mighty Morphine Power Ranger, his name was Jason David Frank. He was the original Green Ranger. Wait, what? What is this about, Eric? I'm just like Power Rangers? I'm just a bit confused. I'm sorry, Eric. I know that show from like it's a very old show, but I never really watched it. Open the controller and put alcohol on the stick with a cotton swab. Does that actually even fix it if it's stick drift?
You doing this, huh? The product's in the back of the truck?
Okay. Okay. Any nice advice for new Red Dead players in 2022? I would watch my video, Ultimate Beginner's Guide in Red Dead Online. The Ultimate Beginner's Guide in Red Dead Online. That's, you know, I think it's like a 30-minute video, but it's almost 1 million views. It'll help you out. You can look up a video guide on how to repair your controller. Take it to an electronic repair place. If you're not comfortable working, it doesn't work, or replace your controller. Okay. I also like that you care and acknowledge your fans and viewers. It's why I respect you more than other YouTubers that I don't watch anymore. Thanks, Eric. Pearl, ever thought of playing a horror game? Well, I did. I played Outlast on Halloween, and I still gotta do Outlast Whistleblower. Sometimes stick drift is permanent because something might have broke, but a lot of the time it just builds up in the controller. Just try blowing in it or isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand, you know, for Sony, how can you, like, have, like, PS5 controllers and still stick drift? Hey, Pro, you should review the GTA 6 YouTuber did... Wait, what just happened? Jay left? Wait, Jay, why did you leave? Yeah, I mean, look at this guy. He's not even touching the controller, and the stick drift is just ridiculous, here. The gritty's a dance move. Oh, okay. We're just checking on your mental health. A lot of people think it's a joke. Hope you're okay. Thank you, Ghost. Thanks, man.
That was strange.
You have to do this to prevent my character from moving. My favorite character in the Saints Row reboot would probably have to be Nawali. Least favorite would probably have to be Kevin Dusty. Wait, is Jay coming back? What happened? Oh, Jason David Frank's passing away. Okay, I just don't know. I don't know much about the actor. I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Third Street. Play Modern Warfare 2. I probably will this week do a stream of the season. Hey, Pro, your stream won't appear on my feed. Had to join via Twitter link. Really? Did you guys get a notification for this? It kicked you out? Okay. Well, hopefully we don't get post-op now. 28 months. Man, this time fly. Well, thank you still for sponsoring my channel, TJ. Thanks, man. Pro, thoughts on a Michael DLC? I'm fine. I mean, thoughts on the Michael DLC, it's, I don't mind it, but is there really any evidence for it? You know, some people are saying there's some sorry, I'm just a little tired tonight, guys. Some people are saying that there's, leaks for, like, the new, you know, GTA DLC, but is that even credible? I don't know if I believe that. You can use your PS4 controller on the PS5? Really? Does that work? I didn't know about that. Thank you, Eric. Hey, Pro, how are you? Hope everything is good. Everything is good. Thank you, Marco.
What the hell? No way!
Yeah, I think Nawali had more potential, but they messed up on him. They do that to these controllers, like they put cheap chips or foam so that the controller don't last a long time, depending how long you make the game, how long you play the game, if that makes sense. Well, I'm really, is this stick drift? I wonder if oh, PS4 games, not PS5. Okay, I wonder though if the stick drift is also like if that's like a if they're doing that on purpose because it sells more controllers. But that's ridiculous. Yeah. What's the best Mafia game in your opinion? I'd say probably Mafia Definitive Edition, because I just like the time period. Can you invite me back to the MC? Yeah, the stick drift is so annoying, guys. I gotta get a new controller after this. This is just ridiculous. Okay, joining the business here. Yeah, I gotta look into getting a new PS5 controller because and like, has any other company made PS5 controllers yet, or is it only Sony? Because I can imagine some PS5, like there would be a company that would make a PS5 controller and not have any stick drift, and that would like I'd say piss off Sony, but it'd probably have to have the rights to make controllers. I love this video. Well, thank you, man. I like all the GTA protagonists.
We sell it?
Oh, go-kart. Pro, I'm having a girl over, and I want to put YouTube on. Which one of your videos do you recommend to set the mood? Well, thank you for the super chat, Sad, but you know I'm not the right person to ask for that. I don't really date. I don't really get involved in that. I'm just more of a loner. But I don't know, like, you know, I'm sorry, I just don't know the best, you know, not the right person to ask for that. I do appreciate the super chat. You know, maybe you guys might like my playthroughs or something like that. If you're looking for, like, to watch something like, you know, a movie style, maybe my playthroughs, you'll enjoy that. But no, I'm not the right person to ask for that. That's, yes, the PS4 controller works. Okay, thank you, Eric. Well, thank you, Sophistry. Yeah, it's probably a joke, but I don't know. Okay, let me get over to the helicopter. Sometimes I have a hard time telling whether people are joking or not in the comments, but it's, but I'm assuming he was asking me about a date. That's, one of the managers at Best Buy forced me to buy a bag. What are you talking, like the plastic bag? Well, that's the plastic bag, Mark, that's a, I think that's a law where you have to buy, like, plastic bags in certain places. Guys, if you ever, please take her out to a nice restaurant movie. If you're staying at home, then Netflix and chill, but do not leave, have her watching a YouTuber playing video games. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm sorry if I didn't realize if he was joking or not, guys, but I'm just not the, you know, I'm just not the right person to ask for stuff like that. Hey Pro, I'm playing GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition, and why is it not showing my progress with Denise after a date? It's not showing top, PS5. It's not showing the well, I don't know the nicest person. Might be a glitch, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of glitches in Definitive Edition. The driving feels different on PS5. That's because the faster FPS. Pro, I've showed your videos on dates, or well, I don't know if you're trolling or not, Sad. You know, I'm just a bit confused what you were like asking me. I thought you were asking me to, like, you know, watch a video together, or I don't know. I'm just you know, I'm just a bit tired, and I'm just not you know, I don't understand troll comments a lot of times, if it is. Well, what am I supposed to do, Jay? Hey, Pro, what's your opinion on Winston Churchill? I mean, he, you know, helped defeat the Nazis during World War II, but he was also in favor of the British Empire. That was like, you know, he's a little bit of a, you know, controversial in that regard, but, you know, I think his most significant thing is, you know, helping to defeat the Nazis in World War II. You can just fly really quickly over and I'll drop it. Not trolling, you make good content, works on... Okay, well, I'm just confused and sad. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, well, I would have to do that then, Fernando. Well, yes, but, you know, the thing about, you know, World War II, and this is it, is that World War II is like a combined effort. You know, it's just, is like, it's like, I don't think that any one country could have done it all, you know, by themselves. And so, like, you know, I hear, like, a lot of people say that, like, that the Soviet Union won World War II, which it's, in my opinion, it's a combined effort. It was just so many different countries working together. And you also have to think about it, though, even though most of, like, the biggest battles were on the Eastern Front, the North Africa campaign and the the French campaign and the Italian campaign took a lot of troops away from the Eastern Front. And if there was no Italian campaign, no Western, you know, no France campaign, no North Africa campaign, then there would have been a lot more, you know, German troops on the Eastern Front for the Soviets to fight. And also, the U.S. had sent the Soviets, like, a lot of equipment during the Land-Lease, so they sent them jeeps and, you know, weapons and, you know, a lot of aid that greatly helped them out. So it's, yeah, well, you know, like I said, Vimal, Churchill is a very controversial figure because, you know, he helped defeat the Nazis during World War II, but he also, you know, supported, you know, empire and colonialism. I love spending money on pro. My priorities are correct. Well, thank you, Sad, but just know that you don't have to, I mean, just know that I always appreciate whenever you guys give me, like, a super chat, but just know that you don't have to donate to me. You don't have to. Like, a lot of people think that they have to donate to me to get me to read your comment. You don't. I read as many comments as I can. I always am grateful for super chats, and I thank you guys for it, and I read them always when I see them. But, you know, don't think that you have to, you know, super chat me to, like, for me to read your comment, because I try reading as many comments as I can. But I always appreciate any, you know, any donation amount. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the super chats, though, guys. But yeah, it just, my point is, this is like a lot of YouTubers that, like, you know, ask for donations. I don't do that. I personally think it's like a massive scumbag thing to ask for a donation, and it personally pisses me off when I see, like, YouTubers that, like, you know, they'll ask for donations, and they make such ridiculous, like, they make such ridiculous arguments when they, you know, demand donations. And, like, one of the stupid arguments that I've seen is when they claim that, like, viewers get free content, which is, that's like one of the stupidest arguments that you can make, because even if somebody does not make, like, does not donate, they're not watching your videos for free. They're watching ads. And so that's helping a channel regardless, helping a channel make money. And so it's not a, yeah. Let me go to the next business here. Okay, Sad, what about so many YouTubers putting embedded promotions in the video? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about, like, when they advertise, like, a company? You're saying, like, when they have, like, a sponsor for the video and they advertise a company? If that's what you're talking about, I normally don't have an issue with that. But I personally believe that if you advertise a company, like, you know, you say, like, you know, you have a sponsor for today's video and everything like that, then make sure that you believe in that company and make sure that you actually use that product. Because that's why I've never done, you know, ads, like, you know, like, you know, the paid for, like, company ads that, like, YouTubers, you know, say.
It's sale day.
Because I'll only do it if it's, like, a company that I believe in and, like, a product that actually works. I'm sorry, Sebi, the stick drift is just getting really annoying. Venge, don't drive on my side, because my stick drift is ridiculous. I gotta get this controller changed soon. Is mayonnaise an instrument? You're referring to SpongeBob when you say that. Yeah, but this is actually not that bad of a mission. The garbage trucks are actually not that bad. The post op is much worse than this. Definitely much worse. Oh, what the?
Nothing?
What just happened, Jay? Why did you... Did you crash? Bro, what are your thoughts on TGG? I generally think he's a good guy. I like him. I like his content. I have, you know, massive disagreements with him about Reddit Online. You know, I don't think he's correct on Reddit Online, but I don't have any issue with him, and I do like him. So it's, you know, that's what I think. I think he's a generally good channel. I would recommend him, but, oh, hey, hey, Casey. Hey Pro, currently I'm watching The Sopranos on your recommendation, and I really like it. I feel like a lot of GTA scenes are based on it. Yeah, a lot of the Mafia and GTA 4 is heavily based on The Sopranos. Hi, Professional. Have you heard about the organic chemistry professor who was fired for failing his students? What is your opinion on professors who grade very hard? Literally, I don't know the specifics of this, so I can't comment on it. But I will say though that like some professors, they grade like, you know, way too hard. Like I know that, you know, you're not supposed to go completely easy on students, but sometimes some professors they sometimes they go way too yeah, they go way too hard on students. Have I ever played GTA Chinatown Wars, and how's the game? Thank you, Luca. No, I've never played Chinatown Wars, but I want to play it one day. Hello, Max. Oh, wait, I gotta go back inside, right? Thoughts on Anarchy? It's a really stupid system. Yeah, Anarchy is a complete failure of a system. It's not even a system itself. It's just, you know, no government, no rules, nothing. It's just, yeah, stupid.
Let's get to work.
Yeah, I like the idols. The idols in Saints Row, the reboot, are, the idols in the Saints Row reboot are, anarcho-communists.
Okay, it's us.
Yeah, I gotta watch out the stick drift here. Okay, Jay. It's one of the best guns. I like it with incendiary rounds, personally. Okay, there we go. Greetings, Professional. I really like the GTA 6 clickbait video they did. Every info is explained clearly to identify the clickbait videos. Thank you, VHM. Thank you, thanks, man. And it's just... What I'll say about the clickbait is, you know, I got really pissed off the other day, and that's why I uploaded that clickbait video. And it was just talking about the clickbait and how much of a problem it is. Because the thing about it is, I was like debating, like, I was like, do I make a video on this or not? Like, you know, do I talk about this or not? And so, you know, it's like I was like, you know, this is not going to stop. This is going to get ridiculous. And I was thinking to myself, you know, if I can convince one person to stop watching these clickbait videos, you know, it's worth it. So it's, you know, if I could get one person to stop, you know, watching those videos. But, yeah. And what I did during the clickbait video is I did something that, like, a lot of YouTubers don't do, and that I didn't show the names of the people involved in that. And it's because if you show the names of the people involved in that, people are going to go to the channels, even if you tell them not to. They're still going to go to the channels, and it's their, the YouTuber, then the clickbait YouTuber gets a ton of views. And so I didn't want them to get more views, but I also wanted to warn people about it, and so I thought the best way would be to show the thumbnail without saying the person's name, and just to explain stuff to watch out for. I haven't played Modern Warfare 2 Season 1. Do you know how to RPG quick swap? No, I'm not a PvP player. Well, thank you, David. I'm glad that, you know, my video convinced you to stop watching clickbait. How many social credit do you have? Are you talking about that, that system from, China, that ridiculous thing that, like, grades people? Yeah, I could replay Red Dead Redemption 2 one day. I'm excited for your review on the Saints Row reboot. Thank you, man. 14 months. I'm currently making a very detailed GTA 6 wish list. I'll send it to you once I'm finished, taking my time with it. Thank you, gamer. Thank you for sponsoring my channel for over a year now. I do appreciate it, man. But yeah, Troy, I thank you for the super chat earlier. I'm just not a PvP player, so I wouldn't know about that stuff. You know, RPG quick swap and all the other stuff. I just not into the PvP personally. I can't even mark stuff. That's how bad the stick drift is. My God. What time are you in Central Time? Okay, let's get over to that drop off. I missed Indigo Super Chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take a look. What's up, Pro? Want to help me sell my MCs? In a little bit, James. Oh. Why do you think Stephen Ogg's been acting out lately, Pro? I thought this was a good question. Oh, it was Coffee Dopes that asked the question. Thank you for the super chat. The thing about Stephen Ogg is, like, you know, hang on one second. This is just, yeah, these guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, so about Stephen Ogg, here's what I'll say about it. Like, you know, him getting, you know, pissed off at people referencing Trevor. To a degree, I can understand it, because I tried really hard, like 2 years ago, I tried really hard to start doing other content and you know, do other projects. And, you know, I wanted to be known for other content, other projects, and what would happen is, whenever I would put, like, a lot of hard work into, like, making, like, another video, like, another content, like, you know, something else, something different, and I typically do, like, the GT Online videos. And so I would have people that would just bring up GT Online constantly. Like, even if the video was not GT Online, like, had nothing to do with GT Online, I would have people in the comment section that would ask me stuff about GT Online. And while I have no problem with people asking me about GT Online, I just really didn't like to see it on non-GT Online videos, because I felt like the people that were asking me GTA Online questions on, like, non-GTA Online videos were just coming to that video because it was my most recent video, hoping I would respond, and they didn't care at all about what was in the video itself. And so that's, like, you know, that got me, you know, a bit upset, and so I didn't like that. So I can understand why Stephen Ogg doesn't, like, you know, got mad about being, like, Trevor, constantly being referenced as Trevor. However, though, now this is where, you know, my final view on this comes in. While I understand it to a degree, I will say that, like, you know, what he did was wrong, and it was not correct, because of just the fact that he took a $140 donation. And so you know, you can deny it on that website. You can deny it. So it's not it's not like YouTube where they all go through. You can deny them if you want. And so the donation request, like the request asked specifically for him to, like, you know, do a video, like, with Trevor, like, you know, role playing Trevor, talking about, like, Jason and Lucia. And he, you know, instead took the $140 donation and just went off about how, like, Trevor's a fictional character and all this other stuff. And so that was just wrong. And I don't think that was correct. And that was the way to go about it. You know, Trevor did make his career, so I can understand him wanting to do other projects and, like, wanting to move on from Trevor. But Trevor also made his career, and so that's why. Yeah. What griefer, Jay? What are you talking about? Okay, 2 more drops. I don't think, oh, why is I thought you said overrated for a moment. No, GTA 4 is overlooked, I think, because GTA 4 doesn't have all these crazy military vehicles that, like, some of the other GTA games did, and so that's why I think a lot of people overlook it, personally. No, I don't, Learned isn't a griefer, he's friendly, it might have just been an accident. I've known Learned for some time. Well, that was at least a pretty quick one there. Oh my god. Okay, let's get out of the area here. What mic do you use? I use the Blue Yeti microphone, so you know. So you see this? This is what I use, Blue Yeti. But it's Blue Yeti. It's what I used to talk into what I used to talk to my friends. That's what I use for like streams. What I used to talk to my friends is I use this headset here. I don't know what number this is. This is Steel Series, though. That's what it's called, Steel Series. It's a wired headset. It just plugs right into the PlayStation 5 controller. This headset is just great. I haven't had any problems with the Steel Series headset. So it's just, let's see here, let me get in with you then. Do you think the Ukraine conflict will end soon? I don't know. It's just, thank you for the super chat, Savage. It's like, you know, Putin's just a psycho, and, you know, he's like, some people are saying he's sick, and that, you know, he's unstable, and you don't know, like, you don't know what else he could do, but, yeah.
Look at that. All delivery.
What I will say about it is that they have the Russians have like severely underestimated the Ukrainians, and they thought that it basically, like, there was a lot of Russian defectors that actually said that they believed that their intelligence believed that it would be like Crimea in 2014, because in 2014 the Russian military just went into Crimea and they took it within just a few days. Like, they faced little to no resistance and they just took it. And so, but what they didn't realize that in those last 8 years Ukraine has been building up their military and been training in a lot of Western style like military tactics. And so they thought that they'd, you know, take over the whole country in a few days. It's been a disaster, and they completely underestimated them. And so, you know, hopefully the Ukrainians, you know, prevail, and, you know, they kick them out, and, you know, hope the war ends. You know. Now, I feel really bad for my friend PvP Cats. He's Ukrainian. It's a Red Dead channel, but it's, yeah, it's, hopefully that conflict ends. I'm watching your GTA 4 lore videos about Dimitri. I haven't watched it for a long while, but it's a great video. I'm looking forward to more lore videos from GTA games, others too. Thank you, Josh. Thanks, man. Pro, can you give us a tour of your PC? Honestly, man, my PC is nothing really special. You know, I don't have a crazy setup or something like that. I just have my desk, my PC, my, you know, desk. I have one screen. I have a gaming PC, so like my PC is generally good, but it's nothing like special. It's like my mic is like just on a little stand here, and that's just pretty much it. It's nothing like, you know, nothing crazy. Yeah, I know about that. But here's the thing about this, and this is, oh no, this mission where he smokes in the truck. What I was gonna say though is that about the you know, the Ukraine war, is what a lot of people don't know about this is that basically oh great, I gotta call off the cops here. If Putin loses that war, there's
What service are you looking for?
there's a massive, like a huge chance, like a massive chance
I'll deal with it.
that he could actually be taken out of power. And you know, I'm not even talking about like Western countries or anything like that. I'm saying about his own country, because if he loses that war, some of the top Russian generals, they might see him as weak, and so they might try to get rid of him. You know, I'm no supporter of Russia. I support Ukraine in this, but I'm just saying that, you know, that there's like a lot of like Russian generals that would they would try to take power, and they would and so Putin knows this, that if he doesn't win that war, that there's a massive threat on his power, and so there's, you know, people that would see him as weak and stuff like that for losing, because yeah. And the Russian military is like a joke right now. It's like, you know, we used to think that the Russian military was this like big scary military that's supposed to be the second strongest military in the world. It's a joke. So it's they like the Russian military cannot like do simple logistics. So that's just it. And this is like on a country they border. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Trying to lose those cops, but this is getting really annoying here now. Is it worth grinding Kaio as well as businesses? Yeah, I think so. You know, you can have your MC businesses and your bunker and your nightclub producing while you're doing Kaio Perico. That's like a thing that you could do, yeah. This is what's annoying about this mission. Like, it's not only do you like you gotta drive around like this, but it's like you gotta watch out for the cops too, which is just I think I might have passed it. I think I have to go back to that park right there, right? The trailer park, right? Yeah. Oh, no, Savage, I haven't. Oh, whoa. Okay, well, at least I lost the cops. Man, I hate this mission. Do you think more people would play GTA without constant militarization? Well, I think the military vehicles are something that people liked a lot in GTA, but what I think people, didn't like is I don't think people liked a lot of the futuristic stuff.
Cryptocurrency received, so I guess we have a sale. Transferring now. Long John over.
The thing is, though, is that, some people are, bringing up, like, nuclear weapons. Like, God, I hope nothing like that happens. But it's, if Russia did use a nuclear weapon, what a lot of people don't understand is that would make that area inhospitable for anyone. So no one would be able to occupy that land. But also, there's a chance because of, like, wind. The wind could actually blow radiation into Russia if that was to happen. So that's I don't think that's gonna happen. Okay, I'll see you, Jay. Sopranos is just a Breaking Bad ripoff. Well, I hope that you're trolling when you say that, because Sopranos came out before Breaking Bad. So is that a Breaking Bad, a Sopranos ripoff then?
You doing this?
Yeah, the stick drift it's like I'm doing that mission all over again. The stick drift is just annoying the hell out of me here. Oh no, bridge, watch out, bridge. Yeah. Okay, see you, PC. Okay. Yeah, we could play it in the future, Brandon. Guys, don't fire missiles at those bikes, because when you fire missiles at those bikes, the missile could actually hit the truck. Come on, get this through here. I don't know if the yoga mission is necessarily the hardest mission. It's just, I would say it's the most annoying mission in GTA 5. But I don't know if I'll put it as the hardest mission. Will I ever stream Call of Duty? Will I ever stream Call of Duty again? Yes, probably this week to stream the new season. Who's the stupidest boss in GTA? The stupidest boss in GTA, who would that be? I don't know how to think about that one. It's a good one. Yeah, I don't know, how much is a PS5 controller even anyways? Like, I'd have to Google that, but it's, let's see.
That's a successful sale.
It's $25 off PS5 controllers right now. It's normal price, it says $70? Seriously? I forgot how expensive they were. Like, you pay $70. Okay, if you pay $70 for a controller, I'm gonna tell you right now, I expect that controller to work for years. For years, I expect that controller to work. I don't expect any kind of stick drift. But this controller that I have didn't even last a year. And it's getting stick drift already. See, that's stick drift. That just screwed me over. So it's just... Get up here. Ah, great, yeah. Enjoying the video calling out the clickbait. Someone had to say it. Thanks, man. Get over to the drop-off. Oh my god, I'm gonna literally it takes a lot to get me annoyed, guys, but I'm gonna literally smash this controller. I'm sorry if I'm getting pissed off here. Oh my god, and if you're wondering why I keep crashing, it's stick drift. It's like my controller recently had an issue where it's just it's now going to the side, and it's getting really annoying. Oh my god, come on, seriously. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. I lost the bike. That's so stupid. I couldn't get it out of there, and I tried to use up an atomizer, it didn't work either. And it's just... damn. I'm sorry. Do I have a 24-hour Walmart nearby? There's a Walmart that's not far from me, but it's not 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. Like, I can't even play right now. Like, it's just, this is ridiculous. Like, stick drift is just... This is like, how do you pay $70 for a controller and this stuff happens? And I don't even abuse my PlayStation 5 controller. So it's like, I don't know, like, why this, why this happens is just so stupid. Has this happened to other people where your controller just starts turning to the side like this? It's so annoying. I can't stand it. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. Like I've tried to do the blow air thing, like blow air into the controller. People say it doesn't work for me. So this doesn't. Why do people hate you? I don't know. You know, some people don't like me, but the thing is though is, you know, I think that it's you know, I don't even really have an issue with people not liking me. I care mostly about what my fans and my viewers like, you know, my subscribers. I care much more if my subscribers and like my fans like me. But like you know, other people, you know, can, you know, say stuff about me and stuff like that. But what I will say though is that, you know, if someone dislikes me or my content, you know, I don't take personal offense to it. But what I will say to it is, I will say that if someone stop being mean to your co-host, what are you talking about? But if somebody is like doesn't like my content and they don't like you know me, the only thing that I would ask from that person is I would ask them just to explain why they don't like me and why they don't like my videos. That's it. That's all I ask. And it was just you know, if the reason I would ask that is so that if I'm doing something wrong, I can improve and, you know, make my channel better in the future. But if, you know, if it's something stupid like, you know, like, oh, he wants the Oppressor Mark II banned or something like that, then, you know, I'm not going to take them seriously. But if, you know, if it's like a legitimate criticism or something like that, or they say like, you know, this video could have been shorter, you know, you talk too much, okay, yeah, maybe I could have made certain things shorter. I will concede that. You know, sometimes I talk too much, you know, sometimes I just, you know, I get into a subject, I just talk a lot, but it's, yeah, I always try to look for criticism, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes I don't see a lot of valid criticism. Sometimes I see like stupid things. Like I'll see like dumb things, like, you know, like oh, you know, he doesn't think easy way out is like a legitimate strategy. Like I'll see people like say that about me. Like they'll say, oh, he doesn't like easy way out and stuff like that. I don't. You know, I'm not gonna change my mind on that. I think easy way out is stupid. So that's just you know what I Okay, let me, okay, if I hold up on my if I hold up on my controller, okay, if I hold up on the stick, it's not gonna turn me to the left with stick drift, okay. So yeah, it's best to ignore them. And then there's like, and then I'll tell you guys something. Then there's the dumb people that like, you know, make, you know, dumb accusations against me. Like they accuse me of glitching or modding, you know, stuff like that. It's just stupid. You know, if anybody watches my channel, you can see all my money guides, and you can see my past live streams. And you can see I grinded for everything. But it's, you know, it doesn't stop people from being stupid. And it's like, and the thing is though, is I've told people before, like, you know, I stopped arguing with the people, because like when people used to accuse me of being a modder, I would argue with them. Like I used to do that back in the day. But I don't do that anymore. I just ignore it whenever I see those dumb comments, because I don't have to prove anything to anyone. All the evidence is on my channel, and you know, if somebody's too ignorant to look at that about my money guide to see how I grinded my money, that's not my problem, that's their problem. So I have nothing to prove to them. But it's, yeah, it's just people just being, you know, stupid. You know, the only time I ever really made a response video to that is, when there was, like, in August of 2020. What happened was in July of 2020, I basically said on my channel, I said in a channel update, and not only in a channel update, but I said in several, like, live streams, I said, you know, I'm gonna take a break from GTA, guys. I'm gonna start, like, playing other games. I want to give other things a chance. I want to do other content. And so what happened was, when I stopped playing GTA for, like, a few months. You know, I didn't do any GTA Online content really for, like, 2 or 3 months. And so I was very clear on why I wasn't playing GT Online. It was just I was bored of it, I was burnt out from the game, and I wanted to do other content. And now, the exact same time that I actually took a break from GT Online, you had that stupid apartment glitch. And it was that apartment glitch, and I told people beforehand, I said, like, you know, don't do the apartment glitch, you're gonna get banned. But people didn't listen to me. And so it was that apartment glitch where people were getting, like, you know, a lot of money and stuff like that. And so a lot of people got their characters reset afterwards. And what ended up happening is, I had, like, a bunch of people, like, and especially with griefers that started it, like, people that don't like me. They started, like, you know, making these ridiculous accusations against me, and they started saying that, like, oh, you know, the reason he's not playing GT Online is because he got his character wiped, and he doesn't want to show it, and, like, you know, and stuff like that, and it was just, you know, some of the dumbest things I've seen, and I was like, looking at these comments, and I was like, seriously, I was like, how stupid can you possibly be? Like, it was like, I have said several times the reason I'm not playing GTA is because I was burnt out from the game, and I wanted to play other games. I wanted to try other content, and they're, you know, making these dumb, ridiculous, like, you know, accusations, and so I actually ended up, you know, making a GT Online video just to address that crap, and in that GT Online video, I literally showed that my character was still here, I was still playing on my character, and I literally said to my, the people that were making those dumb accusations against me, I said, the reason I'm not playing GTA, you know, for the people know, is because I was burnt out from the game. It's not some nonsense of, like, you're getting character wiped or some stupid, you know, nonsense like that. But, and the thing about it is, when I made that video, I actually had to make my CEO name. I made my CEO name in the video, like, today is August something 2020. That was my CEO name. And the reason I made it my CEO name is because I knew that even if I uploaded a video showing that my character wasn't wiped, that still would not be good enough for those idiots. And I knew that they would still, like, say, oh, he's using old footage or something like that. He's actually wiped. And so I knew it wouldn't end. And so I figured, like, how can I prove it that in present day that my character isn't wiped and everything's fine? And I was like, okay, I can just make my CEO name, like, the date, and that'll, like, prove it. And so that's, like, that finally ended that nonsense. But, like, people were just being really stupid, and just that. And then people were being also really stupid when I played on PS5, because when I played on PS5, I decided to make a new character. And the reason I decided to make a new character was because I didn't want to lose my PS4 character, because I still had PS4 friends that I wanted to play with, because not everybody had the PS5 version. But I had people that were playing on the PS5, and so I was like, what can I do? And so I was like, you know what, I'll just make a new character on the PS5, and I'll start playing with him and grinding with him. And so I started playing with that new character, and then I had dumb people, like, you know, show up to my channel again, and they were just saying, oh, you know, he got wiped, he can't transfer, that's why he's playing on a new character. It's like, no, if you watch my videos, it was because I didn't want to lose my PS4 character, because I still wanted to play with my friends. That's what it was. And then I finally ended up transferring my PS4 character to PS5, and I got my billion and my rank 13, you know, 41 here. So, you know, what do those idiots have to say now that I couldn't transfer? So it's just, that's just, you know, but, like, you know, the point that I'm making is, you know, don't let these, you know, these ridiculous, like, you know, because don't let these ridiculous people get to you, because people throw around, like, ridiculous accusations and just, nonsense against YouTubers, and then they, you know, find something to hate on somebody for. But, like, I used to be, like, back in the day, I used to, like, react to it, and so I would give them a reaction, and that's what they want most of the time. They want you to give them a reaction. And so it's just, you know, that's the, I figured it's the best thing to do is just not to respond to it anymore, because it's just, you know, people are being stupid, and no matter what, no matter, you know, how much, what you do, you're gonna have somebody, you know, constantly not like you, somebody say you did something, or glitch, or mod, or whatever else, and it's just, you know, it's best to ignore garbage like that. Let me see here, the chat. Hey Pro, I only have this much money, support you. Thank you, Anurag Gupta, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But don't worry about the amount, man. I always appreciate any amount that people donate to me. Don't even feel like you have to donate to me, but I always appreciate any amount. But thank you for the super chat. But any amount is always, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you, man. For that. Don't feel like it's not much. It is. I always appreciate it. DHC network, to tell if a PS5 controller stick shift, if the ICC serial number ends with 1, it will have stick shift. If it ends with 8, then it will last for a long duration. Let's see. If it mine has the A on it, so it's yeah. That's and it didn't last. I guess maybe I just might have had bad luck then. Thank you, Savage, for sponsoring my channel. They used to think you did Bogdan's offline. Those stupid people. No, you know, I'll tell you something. I remember where that accusation came from when people started accusing me of doing the Bogdan heist. That was, you know, back to back and stuff like that. I never did that. I never did any of that. Basically, here's what happened. So, what ended up happening is I was playing a heist with one of my friends. And one of my friends that I was playing the heist with, we got pretty far in, like, the Bogdan heist, but we didn't even finish, like, all the setups. We had, like, 3 or 4. How many steps was even in the Bogdan heist? 4? 4 was it? 4 or 5? But I remember we had like 3 or 2 or 4 setups done. We had like 1 or 2 setups still left to do, so it wasn't even fully ready. And then what ended up happening was, like, my friend didn't play for some time, and so I didn't want to do the heist without my friend because I didn't feel that was fair to him. If, you know, he helped me with these setup missions, but he just didn't, you know, hasn't played for some time because he helped with the other missions. So I was just waiting for my friend to, you know, play again, and what ended up happening is I still had that invite pop up in the background. And so I would have, like, you know, dumb people that would say that, oh, look, he has a Bogdan invite. No, it's not. I didn't even have all the setup missions done. It wasn't just that. It was just, you know, people were just stupid. So it's just, it's like no matter what I did, you know, I would always have somebody attack me over something. So it was just that, like, and here's the thing about the internet, guys. Here's the thing about it, is that you literally could have, like, you literally could be the nicest person in the world. It doesn't matter. You could be the nicest, most lovable person in the world. You will have somebody that hates your guts for no reason. It'll still happen. So that's, like, that's, you know, pretty much what the internet is like. Doesn't matter if you're the nicest, you know, most humane, generous person in the world, you're still gonna have somebody who's gonna hate you. So it's, that's just, what I'll say about that. And so, back in the day, I did like doing the Doomsday heist. I liked doing, you know, the previous heist, but then I got really bored of it, especially when, like, you know, Diamond Casino came out. But I never did, like, you know, any kind of back-to-back glitch or anything like that. So, let's get over to this boat. Well, thank you, Casey. Wow. Stick drift. See here, which one of your videos is the best, for making money for inexperienced players? I'm assuming you mean GTA, right? For inexperienced players, the best guide for inexperienced players. I'll take a look in a little bit. I'll look at my guides in a moment here, David. I have to look at my guides, tell you which one. Actually, you know what? I think I know. Look up my video. What business should you buy first? Just go on my YouTube channel. Look up what business should you buy first. It's like a step-by-step guide on, like, inexperienced players. Explains to them the businesses. That'll help. That one. Do you remember Trevor mentioned robbing Martin's house? Well, do you know there was a cut heist which actually involves robbing Martin's house? No, I didn't know about that. Oh, thank you, Alien, for the for the super chat. Thanks, man. And thank you, Caleb. Thank you for the Thank you for sponsoring my channel. Pro, is GTA 3 Definitive Edition worth playing? You know, might be an unpopular opinion, but I think so. Yeah, I think that GTA 3 and Vice City Definitive Edition are fine. You know, I don't know how much the games are right now. I wouldn't pay full price for those games, definitely. Like, wait till they're on sale. But I would say that, like, you know, when it comes to GTA 3 and Vice City Definitive Edition, I think they're fine for the most part. Like, Vice City Definitive Edition actually looks nice. And it's like the graphics are pretty good. And so I think the aiming was fixed on the Definitive Edition of Vice City and GTA 3, where you could actually aim like PC players could on the console, which I really appreciate that. You could aim like M16, you could aim with the M16 and the M4 in like Vice City in GTA 3 and Vice City. But the one that's really that has a lot of problems is San Andreas. San Andreas is the one that has all the problems. But it's but when it comes to, like, you know, Vice City and GTA 3, I think that they're fine for the most part. I didn't really have any problem. And if you guys watch my playthrough, I encountered some glitches in, like, GTA 3 and Vice City, but, like, when I played San Andreas, I was encountering glitch after glitch after glitch in my Definitive Edition playthrough, and it was pissing me off. So it was, you know, Vice City and GTA 3, that didn't really happen to me. You know, do you know what they should have done? What they should have done with the Definitive Edition is they should have just released one game every year. That's what they should have done. They shouldn't have released 3 games at once. They should have just made GTA 3 their first game, and then next year, you know, make Vice City Definitive Edition, and the next year make San Andreas Definitive Edition. They should have made one game each year, and they should have worked on each game a lot. Put a lot more work into each game, and it would have turned out better. But that's, yeah. When are you gonna talk about the girlfriends in GTA San Andreas, the professional? Well, thank you, Tariq. I mean, I don't know if I really would, you know, I never actually really cared much for the girlfriends in the GTA games, but I could maybe I could do a video about that one day, about Kate, because, like, and it's not even, like, you know, if I would make a video on Kate, it would be, like, explaining, like, you know, why Nico likes Kate and why Kate likes Nico. That's what it would, you know, ultimately be about, you know, that. Because I don't understand why so many people hate Kate, personally. Like, I think Kate is, like, she's a very underrated character. Kate, when you think about it, Kate is the most innocent character in all of, like, GTA. So that's, like, and that's personally, like, why I think she likes Nico, because she's hoping she can change Nico. But yeah, I've never really been much into the girlfriends, though, in the GTA games. But I could, you know, possibly make a lore video on Kate or something like that one day. Thank you, Ghost, for the for the super chat. Mr. Duderino, how are you today, bro? Who's Duderino? I was a little confused. Thank you, Purple Haze, again. Thanks. My first GTA was 4. I played the major GTAs before, besides the stories, and GTA 4 is my favorite out of all of them. I somehow never got tired of the story. GTA 4 is an awesome one, and thank you for sponsoring the channel again, Tariq. Thanks, man. What I personally always found, like, a bit creepy, and what I found, like, a bit creepy about, like, you know, a lot of people didn't like Kate specifically for, you know, the coffee thing. That's what I always found a bit creepy about that. You know, that was their main reason for not liking Kate. It was just, yeah, I just found that always a bit weird of people's reasoning for that. Smartest GTA villain? Smartest GTA villain might have been maybe Dimitri, because how he manipulated Nico, or Tenpenny. Tenpenny, how he, you know, had that whole plan with, like, you know, killing CJ's mom and just... People hate her because, oh, and she judges Nico about the illegal stuff that he does. She's just trying to make him do the right thing. Yeah, Yeah, and that's the thing is Kate is hoping that Nico changes. That's ultimately what, you know, her goal is. It's probably that seeing dating Kate is pointless, so they chose revenge because Kate seems meaningless to them. Plus, she gives nothing a reward, while Roman was more heartbreaking. I personally think it was also heartbreaking when Kate died, because it was like a complete innocent victim that, you know, did nothing. Like, Kate is like one of the few characters in the GTA universe that is not touched by crime in any way. Like, almost all the characters are involved in crime in some way, but she isn't at all. And that's what was so sad about her death. And, like, when people say, I don't care that Kate died, it's like, you know, how can you say that? She's, like, the most innocent character in, like, all of GTA. That was really messed up what happened. Like, I still would prefer... I would have preferred saving Roman still. But it's... I still think it's tragic with Kate dying. I don't really care much for that ghost. Like I said, I don't really, you know, care much about the girlfriends or the dating or any of that stuff. You know, Amanda was a massive hypocrite because of just, you know, she calls Michael a murderer, which he is, but then at the same time is she's living off of blood money. So that's like, you know, I think Amanda was a parody off of the typical mafia wife, even though Michael wasn't like mafia. It was like there's like a lot of like women who would marry like powerful gangsters, and they would marry them primarily for money, and they know about like the horrible things that their husband does, and they're perfectly fine with that. So I think that's personally what they were making fun of with that. Could you do a Sunday night stream? Possibly next time, JM. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that was it. What I will say though, guys, is I got a story to tell you guys. I got basically a ridiculous story to tell you guys. Who is a worse human being, Micah, Bell, or Dimitri? Dimitri, probably, because he pretends to be Nico's friend. What's the worst thing Luis Lopez ever did? It's a good one. What is the worst thing Luis did? Maybe helping Armando and Henrique move drugs. That might be the worst thing they did. But, oh, Tylarius is doing the Pacific Standard heist right now. Maybe I'll join this afterwards if he's still up for it. What I was gonna say earlier is I'll tell you guys about something. Honestly, on the internet, I learned about how manipulative people can be on the internet, and people can be massive scumbags on the internet and act like they're your friends, but they're really your worst enemies. And it's what I mean by this is I found out like there was this guy I remember, it was like years ago. He was in my cruise, and basically what happened was, this is actually the reason on why, one of the reasons I don't really use the cruise anymore. Not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons, because there's a stupid drama constantly happening. But basically what happened was, there was this one guy that was like in one of my crews, and I remember like when you talk to this guy, he sounds nice and everything like that. He was, you know, never had signs of being toxic, seemed like a reasonable guy, friendly. And what happened is, he would, you know, every week, he would send me some ridiculous message, and he would tell me that people are bothering him, people are being mean to him, people are being rude to him, and stuff like that. And so I would get the other person in the party, and I would get them in the party, and I would find out, you know, what's the problem, you know, what's going on exactly, and try to resolve their differences. And so the other people would give me like a completely different story of what that guy was saying, and they would say that he was actually being toxic and he was being ridiculous. And so eventually, like, I tried to, you know, I would try to play peacemaker. I'd try to, like, you know, resolve these things. 'Cause I don't like banning people. I don't like doing that. If I can resolve something without somebody banning somebody and like have people get along, that's what I would prefer to do. Like, banning is my last resort. I'll ban people when people are like sexist or racist or, you know, homophobic and just, you know, being overall toxic. Yeah, I'll ban them from my crews and just the chat. But like when people are just, you know, having like stupid arguments with each other and stuff like that, you know, I typically try to resolve it, and I typically try to, like, you know, say, what's the problem to this person, and this person, what's your problem, and like, can you guys work this out? Can this be ended? Can you guys stop the drama? And that's ultimately what I thought was like the best solution, because if you ban somebody, like somebody that gets in an argument with somebody else, that doesn't necessarily fix the problem, because then it could cause more drama, and that person's gonna get pissed off more, and then that person could also attack your crews and stuff like that. And so I've had that happen where I've had to ban people for drama, and then people would like attack my crews and stuff like that, and it was just But what I was saying is basically, there's a documentary about how griefers went after your crew in the past. What? Who made that? But it was basically what happened is so the story with the guy. Thank you, Purple Haze, for the super chat. So the story with the guy. So here's what happened. Is like every week it would happen. Every week he had some argument with somebody else, like something. And he would say that people were being rude to him, people weren't being nice to him and stuff like that. I take that seriously. Like when somebody says that somebody else is like, bullying somebody, I'll take it seriously. And so I got him in a party, I try to find out what's going on, and he can never provide me with any kind of evidence. Like I ask him for evidence of like the people like being rude to him. He can't ever provide me with evidence. He just says, oh, it happened in party chat, or I didn't record it, or something like that, the clip. Something like that. And I would ask people, like, if you get griefed by somebody, capture the clip and just show me the clip. And so that way I have proof, and I know that person griefed you, and I can just kick them out of the crew. But he never had any kind of proof, and he would always have these ridiculous accusations against people. And so it's like I had to probably resolve like 5 or 6 drama incidents with him in just a few weeks. Like it was like every week he had an incident with somebody else, and it was getting ridiculous. It was getting annoying. And like one of my friends was like, ban this guy already, like get him out of here. It's like, this is getting annoying. And I was like, no. I'm gonna try to like, try to have people work this out, and I'm gonna have to try to people, because I'm a really nice guy. Like I tried hard not to ban people, and so I think this guy took advantage of my generosity. I think he took advantage of the fact that I was just so nice to him and so tolerant. But I tried to always have people work it out, and so I would have people I would have them sit in the party, talk to each other for like an hour. I would be intervening, and I would say like, okay, you guys, worked it out. Is everything good? Yeah, it's all good. And then like a week later, he would start drama with somebody else. And literally what happened is, how it finally ended, and what I did was I permanently banned him from my crew. What finally, the final straw for me was, because I'm a very patient guy. I'm willing to listen to people, I'm willing to talk to people, have a reasonable discussion, find out what's going on, what the problem is. But, this, going on for some time. And what finally pushed me over the edge, what finally, convinced me to ban this guy, was this guy, what he did is he had sent me a video, and he's like, your crew attacked me, professional, like your crew members are attacking me, like, do something about it, they're being toxic. And he sent me like a video of like 2 of my crew members just killing him over and over again. And so when I watched his video, it looks like my crew members are griefing him. It looks like 2 of my crew members are just killing him repeatedly over and over and over again for no reason. And he thought that I was just going to watch that video and I was just going to ban those 2 guys. But what he didn't count on me doing is he didn't count on me talking to those 2 guys. So I messaged those 2 guys that were in that video, and I asked them, were you killing him repeatedly, like over and over again for no reason? And basically, he only recorded what happened afterwards. He didn't record what happened beforehand. And so I talked to those 2 guys, and they actually had their own video, and that showed me what happened leading up to that. And I had, and this is what he didn't expect, the guy. And so, basically, they recorded beforehand, like, they captured, like, the last 30 minutes, like, PlayStation capture, because they thought that this was going to happen, that he would accuse them of, stuff like that. And basically what happened was his story, the guy that was accusing them, the 2 guys of killing him, he claimed that my crew just came over and just jumped him and started killing him for no reason. But I watched I watched their video. You know what the real story of what actually happened. What actually happened was, there was a big war zone in the map. So there was, like, big war zone, there's, like, a bunch of people killing each other. And that guy who claimed my crew members were griefing him, my 2 crew members were in a battle with, like, some other people that attacked them. So there's some other people that were involved in this. That guy who claimed my crew members griefed them was actually flying around in a jet. And he was hovering around them. Like, he was flying around in circles. Like, and the way he was flying, he would fly, like, right underneath them really quick. And he wouldn't shoot them, but it would look like he's gonna hit them. Like, he would fly, like, imagine the jet is coming right towards you, like, nosediving you. That's what he would do towards them. He would do that to my crew members. He wouldn't hit them, but he would nosedive them. So it looks like he's about to bomb them, but he's not. And it's because he's trying to get them to open fire on him. That was the whole purpose of it. And then he would say that, oh, they're being the aggressors to me. They're they're bullying me. And like I said, I don't tolerate bullying. I get rid of that right away. But in this case, this story, this was like a guy that was manipulating the situation and just accusing people of harassing him when it wasn't the truth. What was going on? And so what ended up happening is one of the crew members, when he tried to nosedive them, fired a homing launcher at him. And what ended up happening was he dodged the homing missile. But then even though he dodged the homing missile, he sent them like a long message afterwards. And he sent in that message, he said like you better not do something like that again, like this really toxic like message like this. And my crew members got pissed off when they saw that message and just went over and started killing him a bunch of times. And that's what happened. And so I then got that guy in a party, and I said to him, you told me that they just attacked you for no reason. You left out the message that you sent them. You left out the clip of you trying to nosedive them over and over again. And you know what he did? He changed his story completely. He changed his story. He said, no, my friend was in that war zone, and he was getting griefed, and I was just trying to help him. And I was like, no. You didn't tell me that beforehand. You said that you showed me, in the clip that you showed me, you didn't show me that part with the war zone. You only showed me where you kept trying to nosedive them, but not shooting at them. You were trying to get them to shoot at you. That's the whole purpose of it. And I said, that's it, you're done. And I just permanently banned him. And what happened was he made like multiple accounts afterwards messaging me, saying that I was unfairly banning him and that he's like a victim and everything like that. Just multiple accounts over and over, and he multiple PSN accounts, because this is when I had my PSN messages still open. This happened like 4 years ago. So this is like and then he commented on my streams, multiple accounts on my streams. It was getting ridiculous. And I kept banning him. And then he claimed that he was gonna suing me. That's like what he was claiming for banning him from my crews. Saying, how can you even sue me for something like that? But that's basically, I know that story sounds so ridiculous, but that's my whole point. Is like the internet is just, people on the internet are very toxic. And so this guy didn't seem like he was toxic at all. If you sat with him in the party and you talked to him, sounds like a nice guy. Doesn't have any signs of being toxic, but he was extremely manipulative. And he would just and he would constantly try to cause drama. It seemed, for me personally, it seemed like he enjoyed the drama. It seemed like he enjoyed causing it. And so he would just always claim people are harassing him when that wasn't true. Like I said, I take harassment, I take bullying seriously, but that's not what was happening in this case. He was just accusing people of stuff when that's not what was happening. He never had any proof, and the one time he did actually have a video, he didn't show me the whole thing. And when I saw their video and I saw my crew members of what actually happened, I got so pissed because I was like sick of this, because this is like the 6th or 7th time that I had talked to this guy about different incidents, and I was like, that's it, this guy's the problem. He's causing all the drama. He's got to go, and I just banned him. And so it takes a lot for me to ban somebody, but that's what I did. I permanently banned him. I blocked him from my friends list and everything like that, and that was just it. So it was just that's what it was. It's just people being stupid. Let me see here. Thank you, Purple Haze. Who would win in a Russian mafia gang war if these two groups fought? Kenny Petrovic's group or Ray Bulgarin's group? Also, you are way too wholesome. Well, thank you. Who would win in a fight? Kenny Petrovic or Ray Bulgarin? Probably Ray Bulgarin, because he's a billionaire, and so he can keep throwing money to hire as many guys as he wants. I know Petrovic is rich, but we don't know how rich he is exactly. I'm a co-leader in a GTA crew, and I've had a lot of problems with bullies. Our captain is disabled, and my leader is a female. The captain has been bullied for being stupid, and the female, oh my god, headache. Oh, I'm really sorry. That's just wrong. Anybody who's calling your captain stupid, that's just I would probably snap if I saw something like that. It would be an instant ban for me if I saw somebody do that. If I saw somebody being sexist, or if I saw somebody bullying somebody who is disabled, calling them stupid, yeah, I would snap. So that's just that's that. I'm a very tolerant guy. I'd like to think of myself as a nice guy. I hope you guys think that too. But it's like I have limits too, and so it was that I would if I saw something like that, I would not tolerate it at all. Yeah. I will tell you guys though, one time I was playing with a group of my friends on Call of Duty Vanguard. I encountered this really creepy guy. It was a really, really creepy guy. He seemed like a chill guy at first. But then I found out the real reason. You know, he wanted to play in our, you know, in our lobby. Basically, it was like a random guy that we met on, like, you know, just we were playing domination, or was it hardpoint or domination? It was like one of those modes. It was one of the objective modes. And so this you know, creepy guy was like, he was acting nice at first. He didn't show signs of being creepy. What he did was he would we had one of our friends in our group. She was a girl and she was playing with us, and so he wanted to invite to the lobby to play with us. And so I thought he just wanted to play with us. That was just it. But what happened was when we were playing in the lobby, he would try talking to my friend that was a girl, like, repeatedly, and he wouldn't talk to any of us. Like, he had us all muted, and he would only talk to her. And I said, like, I heard her talking to him, and I was like, you know, what's going on? Is there something wrong with the mics or something? Like, it took me a minute to process it. And then, you know, he basically, you know, he's like, oh, there's a glitch, and I can't hear you guys, but I can hear her. And I was like, yeah, sure. It's like, you know, I know what this is about now. And it was just the guy was just being creepy. And, you know, and I could tell that he was bothering my friend too, and she was getting annoyed. She was getting bothered by it, and I, you know, we kicked him out and we got rid of him. It's like, you know, we're not playing with this guy anymore. But, you know, that's just it. You know, somebody tries to play with you, and, you know, you seem like a friendly guy at first, but then you found out his true motive, and it was just, you know, being creepy. I personally don't understand why so many people are just, like, you know, get so weird and so creepy when they hear, like, a girl gamer. I never understood that. You know, people are just, yeah. Oh my god, yeah, 4 Mile Drive, this is gonna suck. Tylarius still has that heist open. I'll join him after this, and he still has that heist open. Okay.
Hey there. What can I help you with? Okay, I'll get you out of trouble. No problem.
Let me see here. What's the GTA mission you hate the most? Mine will always be Copland. The GTA mission that I hate the most? Turismo in GTA 3, after Salvatore's death, because it's impossible to complete that race after Salvatore's death because you get blown up repeatedly by shotguns. Thank you, Flo. Confusion, the female was sexually harassed. Yeah, that's, like I said, like, you know, if I see anything like that, it's instant ban. Like, I'm instant banning that person. That's just, it's so creepy and just so weird. I don't know, like, why people, like, you know, I don't know why people act like that online. But yeah, most of the, and you know something that's like really, like, sad, unfortunately, is there's so many girl gamers don't use a mic. That's what's really sad, and it's unfortunate. And the reason that they don't use a mic, and I understand completely why they use a mic, this is why I'm saying that it's sad and it's unfortunate, is because it's the harassment. There's people being stupid online, and it's bothering them over just being a girl, and so that's just, I don't blame, you know, a lot of girl gamers for not, you know, talking. You know, that's just, you know, the harassment can just be, it's just ridiculous. They should let us run the repeating shotgun in Red Dead Online, aka Akimbo, like in Modern Warfare 2. I don't know, Anomalous. Would that really work? I mean, isn't it a 12-gauge shotgun? Because if it's a 12-gauge shotgun and you're firing that thing, you know, Akimbo, you know, you're gonna get blown back. You know, you fire that thing. I'm meant to be an advisor of some sort. There was someone that got close to my leader, but he would try to control her. I was losing my mind. That guy got arrested and was a pedo, Chris Hansen. Oh. Yeah, I'm really sorry that happened to your friend. Well, you know, it's good that the person is facing charges now. I'm really sorry that your friend went through that. here. I hate this mission. After that, I became cautious with new members. I don't blame you, Alien. And the thing is, with me, I literally, I had thousands of crew members with me, and I couldn't handle all the drama. Like, I had commissioners that helped me, don't get me wrong, and I really appreciate their help, but, like, I couldn't handle a lot of the drama, and I couldn't handle, like, you know, just the you know, a lot of the constant stuff that was going on. Like, people be like, I never understood why it's so hard for sometimes people to get along. I never understood that. Like, somebody's always causing drama, somebody's always being stupid, someone's being sexist, or someone's, you know, harassing somebody else. It's just, it's always, you know, always somebody's doing something bad. And so I don't get why it's so hard for people to, you know, I don't know why it's so hard for people to act like a normal human being. I don't know why that's so difficult for some people. But do I trigger drama? No, you're fine, Mr. Waifu. You know what? I'll tell you guys something. You know, something ridiculous that something ridiculous that happened to me once. It was like when I was playing Call of Duty Vanguard. Like, you know, this is like, you know, maybe half a year ago. You know, I had this guy that was being like really toxic to. He was being really toxic to one of my friends. And, you know, we muted the guy. And then what happened was then, like, we were playing the match, we were playing domination, and he wasn't helping to capture flags at all. Like, him and his friend weren't helping capture flags, and we were losing. And I said, you know, are you going to capture flags? And he started, you know, blaming me for, like, losing. And he's like, oh, you decided to mute me instead of working together. I'm like, you were harassing my friend. It's like, we asked you to stop, but you didn't. It's like, that's why we muted you, because you're an idiot. And it was, and he was acting like it was my fault or something like that. And then the thing is, though, then the guy started saying some really offensive things to me. And he actually, he called me a dumb Polish piece of, you know, blank. I think you guys can imagine what he said. And then he kept calling me the P word. And, for I don't want to say what the P word is, but it's, it's the Polish word. You know, the offensive word towards Polish people. There's an offensive word towards Polish people, and so he kept calling me that repeatedly. And so it was, you know, my name's Polish Mercenary, so people can tell that I'm Polish, Polish American a lot of times on the games. And so what happened was, I called him a racist. And do you know what he said to me? He said to me, "Oh, that's not racist. You know, you can't be racist against Polish people." That's what he said. Like, he started saying that. Like, he started arguing with me over that. I'm like, what do you mean you can't be racist against Polish? You literally kept attacking me over my ethnicity, and you kept calling me dumb, and you kept calling Polish people dumb. Is that not race? That's racist. So it's like, you know, I don't know what he was, you know, getting at. He was saying it's not racist. It is. It's clearly racist what he was saying to me. So it was, you know, people are just stupid, online. That's just, you know, what, Is your money guide for GT Online going to be solo? When I do post that money guide, the money guide is going to be, it's going to be mostly solo. Like, I would say like 85% of the guide is solo. But then the last 15% of the guide, you need to have friends, two friends to help you do the sales. But it's gonna be worth it, because when you see how much money this guide will be bringing in, this guide isn't like a simple business guide. It's much more complex than that. When I get around to it, you guys will be very surprised at how much money this guide can make you. But I'm not gonna post this until probably December. So that's like but when I do put it, it's I'm Nicaraguan. My leader is also Spanish. You can imagine the names we've been called. We've had a leader say that she hates everyone that isn't white. What? I'm really sorry that you dealt with that, alien. That's, yeah. I would just instant ban if I saw something like that. That's just yeah, we don't really use the cruise much anymore. Let me look. I missed a few comments. Do you think the death penalty should apply to some crimes in particular, like rape or serial killer? The death penalty is a controversial, you know, a controversial thing. I think there's arguments you can make for the death penalty and against it. Like, you know, people say that there's no arguments for the death penalty. I would disagree with that. I think there are some arguments for it. I don't know if I would necessarily take a side in it. You know, the best argument that you can probably make against the death penalty is that it costs more to execute like a criminal than it does to keep him alive. That actually is true in prison, because it's all the appeals, like the appeals courts going on from that for years, because they're not, you know, gonna get put on death row until like, you know, usually 15 to 20 years after the, you know, sentences, you know, passed. But what I will say though about it is like, I personally think there's unforgivable crimes out there, and I studied law enforcement in school, and I studied law in school, and generally I generally believe in rehabilitation, but not like Norwegian rehabilitation. Like, I believe in rehabilitation for people that I believe deserve it. That's what I think personally. I don't think everyone deserves rehabilitation. And what I mean by that is there are certain like really bad people out there that I don't think they should ever get out of prison, ever. No chance, nothing. None. And, you know, an unforgivable crime for me would be murder. Murder is an unforgivable crime. Another unforgivable crime for me would be rape. Rape is, you know, another unforgivable crime. Molestation, anything like that, that's unforgivable also for me. You know, I think that, like, you know, a drug lord is also an unforgivable crime for me. You know, maybe like the drug, like, and a small-time drug dealer, you know, I think if they serve their time and they, you know, and they change their ways, I think they should be given another chance at life. But like a drug lord, I don't think they should be ever getting out of prison ever, and I don't think there's, you know, any reasoning for that. Because drug lords, you know, even if the drug lord doesn't kill anybody personally, you know, they've killed thousands of people just with their poison on the streets. Let's see here. You have no idea. I've been screaming my head off for 4 years. I got so tired of bullies, I calmed down with my anger. I'm just tired of drama and war. I hear you. I hear you, alien. And the thing is, the drama used to stress me out so much. Like when I had to deal with drama and like people arguing, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And it was just not good for my health. It wasn't going good for my health. So I don't blame you. I agree with you. I think it would work. Make them a one-shot kill and firing both shotguns at the same time, and they would knock you down like the elephant rifle. It would be unique. I guess. Possibly. Anomalous. You're talking about the lever-action shotguns. Yeah, so you mentioned it first. There was someone named Albert Fish, literally boogeyman kids that ate them. What? Oh, it was like some achievement. Oh my god. Oh, you know, and the thing is though, the death penalty is designed for somebody like that specifically, like somebody like that. I never heard of this serial killer, but like the death penalty is for somebody like that. That's like pretty much what it's for. That's yeah, but damn, that's just messed up. But the thing about it is that the vast majority of the American public actually supports the death penalty. I think it's like 60-something% or more than that. So, you know, the majority of the American public doesn't want to see the death penalty go away. Like, if you go to a European country, the majority of the public probably would be against it. But, majority of the public in my country, at least America, supports it. But it's, yeah, I think, personally, I think it's a controversial, like, you know, topic about the death penalty. Like, because in law enforcement, like, I don't know how I feel about the death penalty. I don't. Like, I'm kind of more neutral on it. That's what I would say is my view on it. But the thing is, though, is that I personally believe that if it should either, if they're not getting the death penalty, if somebody doesn't get the death penalty, judging by what they did, because death penalty is, you know, something that would get you life in prison regardless. But if somebody doesn't get the death penalty, they should get life in prison forever. Like, no parole, nothing. Never get out, nothing. And the unfortunate thing about this is that it's like you have some people that like don't understand criminals at all. And the people that don't understand criminals, the scary thing about it is they pass laws a lot of times. So the people that don't understand criminals get into office. They pass laws that they don't know what they're doing, like, a lot of times. And so it's like I said, like, I believe in rehabilitation for people that deserve it. And people, like, you know, people make mistakes early in their people make mistakes in their lives when they're younger. Like, you know, I have, I don't support gang behavior by any means, but I can understand to a degree why some people join gangs. Because, you know, they grew up in, like, a poor neighborhood, you know, they don't have a lot of opportunity, their parents are poor, or they don't have parents at all, and, like, the gang is the only, you know, place that they see as, like, home for them, and so they try to make money, and so they get involved in drugs or something like that with the gang. And so, you know, I think that, you know, if somebody falls in, it happens all the time, it's like people fall in with a bad crowd, and it's just, and I think that they deserve a second chance at life, people like that. But, like, then there's other people that I don't think deserve a second chance, and, like, people that do horrible crimes, like, you know, murders and, you know, rape and just, you know, the drug lords, and there's, you know, the list goes on and on of, like, you know, unforgivable crimes. Like, the gang leader, if anything, the gang leader should not be, you know, forgiven. The gang leader should be, you know, in prison for life. But, like, you know, so maybe some of the lower gang members can, like, have a second chance and, like, you know, try to get their life together, because people do change. They do get their life together and they change. And so I'm kind of a mix of between, like, my personal philosophy on Law and Order is I'm kind of a mix between rehabilitation and punishment. Like, I support severe punishments for, like, people that don't deserve, like, forgiveness, but I support generally rehabilitation for people that actually want to change and want to make a difference in their lives. So that's, like, what I think about it. Like, and what I was saying earlier, when I was saying, like, the people that don't understand law oftentimes pass laws. What I mean by that is, I was talking to one of my friends, and he's actually from Mexico, and I was actually talking to him, like, a few months ago about this specific thing, and we were actually talking about the cartels, and I said to him, like, do you think that, like, the sicarios, like, the people, like, the you know, the hitmen, like, the enforcers in the cartel, like, you know, some of these, because these people are some of the most cold-blooded people out there. Like, the cartels are some of the worst human beings out there. Really terrible, evil people. And I said, like, do you think these people could ever, like, change? Ever? Like, do you think they could ever be rehabilitated? And you know what he told me? He said, hell no. So it's just, that maybe, if anything, if there's like a young adult, like, you know, an 18, 19-year-old or 20-year-old that falls in with the cartel, maybe they could get a second chance at life. Maybe they could change. They could turn their life around or something like that. But if somebody is like a sicario or something like that, like an enforcer of the cartel, I don't believe that person can ever change. I don't think they can, you know, I don't think they will ever, I don't think they'll ever be a good person. I don't think they will ever change. And I feel the same way for, like, a lot of other gangsters. Like, I feel the same way for, like, a lot of mobsters and, like, mobsters and, like, you know, some of these, like, you know, some of these, like, gang members are, like, you know, hardened criminals. They won't change. So it's just, that's, you know, I hope I answered your question of the death penalty, but that's, like, you know, that's my whole view on, like, the criminal justice system. And it's like, and the thing is, though, when you have, like, these politicians that they're eager to release these people from prison. They're, like, they support parole for a lot of these guys. I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that don't deserve parole, and they're getting parole. So there's a lot of people that should never have parole, but they're getting parole. And it's a really bad idea releasing a lot of these people out, and it causes a lot of crime to go up. And so, like, there's a lot of cities, like, you know, Chicago is really bad with this. Chicago, like, is really bad with this. LA is bad with this. Like, there's a lot of cities where they release these people from prison, people who shouldn't be released. They release them back on the streets. And so these people, like, you know, these guys don't change. And if anything, prison just taught them how to avoid being caught. So that's, like, that's what I'll say about it. Okay, I'll see. If Tylarius invites me after this, I'll join his heist if he's still doing it. So Stubbs exposed Bryce Dawkins and Florian's affair. The Infernus was bugged, but what happened to Florian after GTA 4? What is Stubbs' political goal? Stubbs' political goal was, his opponent was Bryce Dawkins. That's what it was about. He wanted to ruin Bryce Dawkins' career. I don't think he was going for the blackmail. Like, Dimitri was going for the blackmail. He was going for just get money from it, but Stubbs wanted to actually damage his career, to, you know, knock him out. Like, that's pretty much what it was about. But what I'll tell you guys, is, there's Bryce Dawkins is actually based on a real person. A lot of people don't know that. Or I shouldn't say, like, real person. I should say real people. Bryce Dawkins is based on a bunch of people. So basically in the early to mid 2000s, because GTA 4 came out in 2008, there was a lot of like politicians. They would run for office, and I'm sure a lot of people know where I'm going with this. So there's like a lot of politicians that would run for office, and they would specifically campaign against gay marriage. And they would say that they don't believe in gay marriage, and they would try to make it illegal. They wouldn't like they would say that they believe in the nuclear family and everything like that. But the thing is, though, a lot of these politicians were later caught in scandals where they were actually involved in gay affairs. So even though they were campaigning against gay marriage, and they were going against it, and they were denying people equal rights, they were denying people the right to marry who they want to marry, they were themselves in secret, gay affairs. And you can look this up. Just go on Google and look up, like, politicians, early 2000s, like, gay scandals. There's, like, a lot of them. And so that's what Bryce Dawkins was ultimately based on. He was based on, like, a bunch of politicians from that time, like the early 2000s, of, like, they were, campaigning, very hard against, like, gay marriage, and that they were actually involved in gay affairs themselves and actually hiding the fact that they were gay. So that's like what Bryce Dawkins is a parody of that. So but yeah, Bryce Dawkins, like I might do a video on this like one day, like the top 5 GTA characters based on real people, and like talk about, because there's like, some GTA characters that are based on real people, like the Colonel in Cortez in GTA Vice City is based on Manuel Noriega. There's a real guy. So there's like a few characters that are actually based on actual real life people.
Looks like you.
The guy. Oh, also here's a lot of people. Yeah, but it's like I was saying, like about it is like that's just like that's pretty much the ultimate hypocrisy when you deny somebody you deny somebody equal rights and deny somebody the right to marry who they want to marry, and then at the same time is that you're actually secretly gay. I don't understand that. But that was that's what Bryce Dawkins was basically based on. He's based on hypocritical politicians. What was it? What's his name in what's it called? What's his name? What's his name? Mr. K? Is it Mr. K? Mr. K in GTA 5 is based on a real person. That guy, the guy that Trevor tortures? The guy that Trevor tortures in the chair, he's based on a real person. A lot of people don't know that. Basically, what happened was there was this scandal that happened like years. This is years before like GTA 5. And so there was this guy, he was a German citizen. And so the guy he was a German citizen, and the US government was looking for a terrorist. And what happened was the guy that was a German citizen had a very similar name to the terrorist, to the actual terrorist they were looking for. But their name was almost identical, but there was only one letter that was off. And that one letter, it's a completely different person. And so his only crime was having like a similar name to a terrorist. He didn't do anything wrong, and that's not even a crime itself. But he, basically what happened was, it was the CIA, or it was some undercover people, they kidnapped him. So they kidnapped this guy, this German citizen, because they thought he was the terrorist, but like I said, his name was just off by one letter from the actual terrorist. They kidnapped him, they took him to Guantanamo Bay, that the, American, like, prison place in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, and they tortured him. They tortured him for weeks. They tortured him. They would do the same thing that Trevor did. They would, waterboard him. They would dump water over his head. And basically, what waterboarding is, it's a way to simulate drowning. And it was a very effective way to like get a lot of people to talk. A lot of times, it was basically you put the rag over their head and you pour like water over them, and they think that they're drowning. And so the mind, like when Trevor actually says it's all in your head, when he's laughing at him, basically it's your brain is like reacting to it, and your brain thinks that you're drowning. But waterboarding can actually kill. Yeah, it was like a way for them to, it was a way for them to simulate drowning. And so this guy I'm talking about, they tortured this guy for literally, for weeks. And then do you know what ended up happening? They actually realized the actual terrorist is still on the loose. And then they're like, oh crap, we got the wrong guy. And so they tortured this, innocent guy, for weeks. And then do you know what they did? They, instead of admitting to their mistakes, they took him halfway across the world again. They took him over the Atlantic Ocean. They took him to Europe, and they dumped him on like a country road in Albania, like just in the middle of the Albanian countryside. They just dumped him there, left him there. And so basically what happened was he got picked up by the Albanian like police that were like, what are you doing in our country? They thought he was like he was like an illegal border crosser or something like that. And he literally told them about what had happened. and they didn't believe him, that like the CIA had kidnapped him. They thought that he was crazy, that it was just the whole thing was just made up, but it was actually real. And so basically what ended up happening is he went back to Germany, and he told the German government about what happened. The German government actually opened an investigation into it, and they started investigating it. And then the German government looked into it. I don't know how they proved it, but they actually proved that it actually happened, and they finally got the U.S. government to admit to it. And the U.S. government admitted, they said, yeah, it happened. We tortured the wrong guy. And so this isn't a conspiracy. This actually happened. And that's who Mr. K in GTA 4 he's based on. There was a real-life guy that they tortured the wrong guy, and that's what they were doing in GTA 4. They were torturing him. They thought he was a terrorist, but he actually had nothing to do with it. He had nothing to do with it whatsoever. He was completely innocent. And
Morse Mutual.
that was
How can I be of
the
service?
thing. I don't remember what the guy's
think we
real
can
life
handle
name
that.
is. I don't remember his real life name. But basically just go on Google and look it up, like innocent man that was like tortured by the CIA in Guantanamo, left in Albania, and it'll come up instantly, the whole story, that you can read it. But that's what had happened, and that shows you just how stupid the government is. The government messes up like a lot of times. So that's just, they really messed up. And here's the really unfortunate thing. He tried to sue the US government for the false imprisonment and the torture. His lawsuit failed. He never got anything from the US. The German government did actually give him something. So even though they weren't even responsible for it, they actually did give him something for his troubles. But he was never given anything from the U.S. government. So the U.S. government even refused to actually give him like they refused to give him a settlement. So that's just it. Is like the U.S. government wastes a lot of money on like really dumb things, but then when they actually torture somebody and ruin their life, they refuse to actually pay up. And that was just a really bad situation, and just really stupid. But that's another guy that was based on a real life person. Is there any more people in GTA games that are based on real life people? I'm trying to think. So it's Mr. K, Bryce Dawkins, Colonel Cortez. They're all based on real people. Anyone else that I can think of that's based on a real life person in the GTA games? I know there was more. There's a lot more. Also, I'd have to think about it. I know there are other people. Oh, the planes all took off. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna end the stream soon. So like after this, I guess Tylarius isn't doing his heist anymore. He probably started it, so it's fine. I'll just join like another time if he wants to do one. Let me see here. Thank you for your content. No problem, Ghost. Ferdinand Karamov. That's Mr. K's full name. Yeah, but I was also thinking of the real life guy that he was based on. He was based on a real life guy. Have you ever heard of Michael Franzese, the ex-mobster doing interviews on YouTube? He was working with the Colombo crime family. He was a capo regime, but turned his life around being an author. Yeah. The thing about Michael Franzese, I've seen his videos before. Is do you know what I personally think? I personally think that he has done, there's a lot of bad stuff that he's done that he hasn't admitted to. That's what I personally think. I don't think he's necessarily a bad person today, but there's some stuff that he's done that he hasn't admitted to. Like, he was asked before, like, in the Michael Franzese was asked, have you ever killed anybody? That's what he was asked. And he wouldn't give a straight answer on that, when he was asked about that. And so, he served some time in prison, I believe, but I don't think he served time for murder. And so that's the thing about him, is I think he was involved in some things that he's not telling the full story. Did he turn his life around? Sure, probably. He has changed his life. And the thing about this is, do I think he's honest? Do I think he's honest? I do think he's honest, though. Even though he has done bad things. Why do I think he's honest? The reason I think he's honest is because he's a very Michael Franzese is a pretty religious man, and what I'll say about that is I'm not a religious person myself. I'm an agnostic, but the reason that I think he's an honest guy is because he was very dishonest, when he was in the mafia, obviously, but today it's a different story. The reason I think he's an honest guy is because when he was asked about if he's ever killed anybody, like I said, he didn't give a straight answer. He gave a more complicated answer when he was asked about it, but he didn't, how do I frame this? He could have lied. He could have easily said, no, I never killed anybody. But he didn't. He gave a more complicated answer. So I could tell he feels conflicted about it, and I could tell he feels guilt over it. So it's, he does feel bad about it. But the thing is, though, is, if he did kill somebody, I'm not saying that it was, necessarily a good thing. But there's a high probability that if he killed somebody, it was somebody else that was like another gangster, somebody else was another criminal. It's, you know, it's possible he didn't even kill like an innocent person. He might have killed like somebody, he might have killed somebody, like another gangster. He might have killed like a terrible person. We don't know. But it was just, you know, it was probably somebody else, like another mobster or something like that. That's probably what it was about. But yeah, you could tell from his videos that he does feel guilty about his previous life and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I ultimately think of Michael Franzese. Is he has a very he has a pretty, you know, thick New York accent though when I heard him speak. So that's about it. Yeah, but he's really good at negotiating, though. Like, Michael Franzese is really good at negotiating. Like, he's really good at, you know, talking to people and stuff like that. And so it's, you know, that's what he's, you know, he was a captain. He was a capo regime. So it's, you know, he knows. But the thing that always surprises me about Michael Franzese is how he's not scared. How he does all these YouTube videos and everything like that. He's not scared that the mafia is going to come after him because, you know, the biggest code of the Italian mafia is omerta. Omerta is the most important code. And no, I'm not thinking not the gang in Fallout New Vegas, but that's what they're based on. The omerta is actually like the code of silence in the mafia. And so you are never supposed to acknowledge the mafia exists. And even if people know the mafia exists, it's obvious. People know about that. But when you're in the mafia, you are never supposed to admit that the mafia exists to somebody, like, just, you know, somebody in public. You're never supposed to do something like that. And so by him doing that, by him talking, you know, stuff like that, he puts himself at a huge risk. But Michael Franzese is also probably a very paranoid man. And he's paranoid for a good reason. He's lived in that life for some time, you know, it's a good chunk of his life. He knows about how the mafia works. He knows how the mafia operates. And so he's very well aware of that. He's very well aware of that he could be a target. He's very well aware of that they could come after him. And so he probably has taken precautions. He's probably taken precautions. He probably has, you know, he probably has security. He probably has security that protects him. There's no doubt in my mind that he owns a gun. He definitely owns a gun. So it's he definitely knows that there's a probability that the mafia might come after him. He probably you know, he probably covers his tracks really well. But yeah, you know, there's the probability of that too. But you know, I honestly don't know if I could live like that personally, like knowing that the mafia might come after me and like constantly looking over my shoulder. That would make me go crazy personally. But you know, he's very tough mentally to be able to handle something like that. So it's that. But that's what I'll say about, like, you know, about Michael Franzese. How long is the stream going to be? It's 1 a.m. Yeah, like I said, Jay, I'm probably gonna end it soon. First rule about Fight Club. Oh, Tylarius is here. Okay, is he still here? Tylarius, do you still have that Pacific Standard heist, or did you finish it? Stay strapped or get clapped. Yeah, yeah, and that's you know, I would agree with you. You know, people are responsible for their personal safety always. And so it's like, you know, you have the police, sure, sure, but you know, you are responsible ultimately for your own safety and your own protection. And so that's it. Any thoughts on Revenge, Pro? It depends. It depends really on the situation. That's what I'll say. It depends on it. Sometimes revenge is justified. Sometimes it's not really. Like, you know, I'll give you an example of when revenge is justified and when it's not. It was, do you have most of the setup missions done, Tylarius? Because I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten dinner. So if it's anything, I might, if you have like just a few setups, I'll just help you with it and get it done. But if it's like the if you need the whole heist done, I can play with you another time. I'm just really hungry, so I'll just go eat then. What I was saying about revenge is, I'll give you a perfect example where revenge is justified and where it's not justified. In GTA 4, fictional example, revenge is not justified when Nico kills Darko. It's not. The reason revenge isn't justified is because it doesn't accomplish anything. Because Darko is already suffering. You know, he's suffered. He's a drug addict. You can tell he feels terrible about what has happened too. You know, he's, you know, all over the place. He's made him go crazy over the years. And so, you know, Nico constantly thinking about that, and finally actually letting him go is actually Nico's way of finally saying it's over. You know, I'm not, you know, gonna let this control my life anymore. This, you know, this whole revenge, you know, thing. If he kills him, he never clears his mind of that. But if he lets him go, he actually does clear his mind of that. So I think that letting Darko go, I think ultimately is the thing. And also Darko wants you to kill him too. So I think it's, you know, being the better person and just walking away, I think was probably the better choice. So revenge wasn't worth it in that case. Revenge is actually worth it, though, when you kill Dimitri. Killing Dimitri, revenge is worth it on the ship. That's worth it. Now, why is revenge on Darko wrong, but getting revenge on Dimitri is right? The reason it's wrong on Darko is because what I just explained to you. The reason it's correct on Dimitri is because Dimitri is still a threat. And he's not just a threat to Nico, he's a threat to everyone around him. That's the thing about it is, so Dimitri, there's no reasoning with Dimitri. You can't just sit down with Dimitri and just have him stop. He's not going to stop. He's just going to keep doing what he's doing. And so there's, by Nico actually killing him, he's saving a lot of lives. So it's, so revenge was completely justified on Dimitri, because Dimitri's not going to stop. He's not. And Nico, you know, Nico's instinct is not to trust him again, as Nico is correct. And so personally for me, I think the canon ending is where Nico kills Dimitri on the ship. I think it's a revenge ending. I cannot picture Dimitri working I cannot picture Nico working with Dimitri again. I just can't picture it. So that's just, what I'll say is that he, you know, Dimitri deserves it in that. Darko doesn't deserve it, but Dimitri does. What I'll say about it is, I wish it wasn't called revenge. I wish it was called more like justice or something like that. I wish that's more what it was called. But it was, but yeah, Dimitri deserves it. Darko doesn't. And yeah, so, you know, revenge doesn't necessarily always make you feel better. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I think that, sometimes revenge is like justified in other ways. Like, you know, there's like, if you ever like, I watch some of those YouTube channels, like sometimes when I'm bored and like eating breakfast or something like that, I'll watch those YouTube videos, like the r/pro revenge videos, like, you know, the Reddit things where like the guys like reading off, like there's a few YouTubers that do it, and they like read off like stories and they react to them and stuff like that. And so like some of those Reddit like stories that I've read about, like the revenge stories, I thought they were justified. Some of them I don't think were justified, but some of the other ones were justified. Like, for example, like it was like when somebody gets fired, like when a boss, like when somebody gets fired for like a stupid reason, they get fired for something like really dumb that's not their fault, and their boss just gets rid of them for something, you know, that they didn't do anything wrong, and then that person like finds some way to actually turn it around and get the boss fired or something like that, like legally, obviously. I don't condone any kind of illegal action, but if they actually find a way to turn it around and get the boss fired, I think they deserve that. Yeah, I would say that's a justifiable form of revenge at that point then. So like if somebody gets terminated falsely and then, you know, they eventually, you know, they find some way to get back at the company or something like that through the legal means, then I think I would say that that's a justifiable revenge. Like, you know, somebody screws you over and you know, somebody screws you over and you sue them. Like, somebody does something bad to you, like costs you like a lot of money, scams you or something like that, and you sue them. Technically, when you're suing them, that's technically a form of revenge when you're suing them, technically. So that's justified, you know. So when people say that revenge is not justified at all, it's half true. Sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. That's ultimately what I think about revenge. It's, okay, let me see here. Thank you, Jonathan, for sponsoring my channel. Okay, then Tylarius, we'll probably play it like a different time. We'll probably play, you know, the pack standard like a different time then. You know, just send me a message on PlayStation when you want to do it, but I'm going to be a little busy the next few days because I got to finish my Saints Row project. So that's what I'm going to be very busy with. What are your thoughts on the Victorian London era? Oh, Ghost, I'm sorry. Do I like Call of Duty World War II? Yeah, Call of Duty World War II was a good one. How long is the stream going to be? It's 1 a.m. Yeah, I read that one earlier. Sorry, just a little tired too. I think I'll probably end this here. Yeah, probably end the stream here. But I'll still answer some of these questions. Do I like Call of Duty World War II? Thank you, Ghost. Yeah, I like Call of Duty. I'll tell you, I hated the multiplayer in Call of Duty World War II, but I liked the zombies was okay, and the single player was great. Ludendorff, North Yankton, 9 years ago. What? Why is this doing this? Okay. Oh great, I'm having that stupid.
Attention, no one gets hurt.
I have that stupid glitch right now. Oh my god, yeah. I'm gonna have to load my online saves later. Because this is a stupid glitch basically where it takes you back to North Yankton sometimes when you go to single player. That's dumb. Anyways, what I was saying is about Call of Duty World War II. Call of Duty World War II had like one of the best World War II single player campaigns I ever played. Like it was really good. Like Call of Duty World War II story was really good. And about Call of Duty World War II story is like Call of Duty World War II shows you like the horror of the concentration camps at the end of the game, which almost no World War II game does that. Like a lot of World War II games, they tend to avoid topics like the Holocaust, but like Call of Duty World War II actually shows you that. And that was like, that's why I appreciated that so much about the game, that it actually shows you like the horror of that and just shows you like the camps and just shows you like just the horrible things that like went on there. And it was just like when the American soldiers are just like going into like the camp and they just, they're horrified by it. They don't understand like what happened here. That actually happened in real life. When a lot of the American soldiers, they went into the camps and they didn't know what they were like, and then they saw all the bodies and they were just horrified by it. And a lot the American soldiers would find survivors in these camps too. And when they found the survivors, they were, completely starved. Like they were just so thin. Like it was just hard. Like the soldiers were not prepared for that. Like they knew that the Nazis were bad, but they didn't expect that. Like a lot, because at that time period when World War II was happening, like a lot of people didn't know that the Holocaust was going on during that time period. It wasn't until after the end of the war, when the camps were liberated, people found out, what the complete truth about what the Nazis had done, and it was just yeah, so that was like I think that was like the best part of Call of Duty World War II, was like the emotional side of World War II, showing like the sadness and the conflict and just the horrible atrocities that the Nazis had done. So that was I'd give Call of Duty World War II's campaign a 9 out of 10. It was a great one. I liked it a lot. I didn't really have a problem with it. If anything, maybe my only problem was I think it was a little too short, but I still think it was like a really good story, and I think it was one of the best storylines they've ever made. I don't know how they could, the same people that wrote Call of Duty World War II storyline, I don't know how they could mess up Vanguard storyline, that bad. I was expecting something like, I was actually expecting a good story with Vanguard. I was. And Vanguard's story wasn't, terrible, but, Call of Duty World War II story is just way better. Way, way better. Thank you, Jonathan, for sponsoring the channel. But what about when you get revenge on Micah for Arthur's death? That's not justified. Remember what Arthur said? Arthur said he doesn't want, revenge is a fool's game. And he says, like, don't go for it. I think it was, personally stupid. I think he should have just let it go. Arthur wouldn't have cared. So Arthur wouldn't have wanted somebody to go and avenge him. So it was, that. But also, by him going for the revenge, like, not listening to Arthur, that's how, Edgar Ross ended up finding him. So that's just, that. Liz Torres seemed kind of cool in GTA 4, but in The Lost and Damned, she seemed more evil and her missions were intense. You agree when Johnny says she sounds like Billy? I guess, but the thing is, Liz wasn't going to screw Johnny over. She wasn't going to screw him over, so it was just that. Like, Liz is not a rat. That's the difference between, like, Liz and, like, Billy. Like, Billy is like a rat. Like, Liz went to prison. She didn't rat anyone out. She could have, Liz could have probably ratted out a lot of people when she went to prison, because she's a major, like, drug supplier. So she knows a lot of people. She could have thrown a lot of people in prison, but she didn't. She could have taken Nico down. She could have taken Luis down. She could have taken the whole amount of the Lost down. She didn't. Not Luis. Nico and Johnny. I'm sorry, Nico and Johnny, not Luis. I'm losing my track of thought. Yeah. Let me see here. One thing with narcissist psychopaths people is they tend to be full of themselves. That was Dimitri's downfall. Yeah. And I mean, Dimitri could have had, if you did the deal ending, Dimitri could have easily killed Nico if he hadn't told the hitman to tell him, like, a gift from Dmitri Rascalov. So, like, the hitman would have just easily killed Nico. Arthur Morgan, Revenge of the Fool's Game. Yup, that's it. If you're wondering, the Yakuza became well-known in the 1980s and are still around today. I doubt they're as strong as they were in the past. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, they're the Yakuza is Ackman rates Call of Duty too multiplayer based, in my opinion. I'll look at in a second, Isaiah. Here, I missed your comment. What about World at War? World at War was the best one. World at War is the best, World War II story. It was better than World War II, I think, but it was, World War II is also a really good one. Because World at War shows you the horror of World War II did show you the Holocaust, but World at War also shows you, like, the horror of the war overall. And I'll tell you something, World at War has the saddest ending that I've ever seen to a video game ever. That will never beat World at War's ending will never beat another sad ending for me ever. I think it's the saddest ending I've ever seen. I have never cried for a game ever, but World at War is the closest I've actually come to crying to the end of it. And the reason that World at War was just, I personally think it was the saddest video game ending, is just the last minute of the final cutscene. It was just when it goes to black and white footage, and you see like MacArthur, and he's on the ship with the Japanese surrendering, and he's like maybe peace will be restored. And then at the end of it, it's like the screen just goes black, and that like really creepy, scary music plays. Like the really creepy music plays, and it just says that 60 million people died because of World War II, were lost as a result of World War II. It was the most devastating conflict in human history, and like that, just the creepy music and just that message at the end. That was just, for me, I think that was the saddest video game I think that I've ever ever seen, because this is a real conflict that happened, and me being a Polish American, this also hits close to me also, because my grandma has talked about World War II before, so it's just my parents' country had gotten completely obliterated during World War II, so that's just World at War I always thought was the saddest ending personally for me. You've also missed my chat about Saints Row 2 about if Meryl offers the boss 50-50. I think the boss would have taken it, because the Saints were just starting out again at that point, so I think the boss would have taken it. However, though, if the boss had already controlled 2/3 of the territory in the city, I don't think that would I don't think he would take that. Johnny Sindacco is also one of the most unluckiest characters. He's denied an offer by Salvatore. He's tied to a car by CJ, driving into traffic, kidnapped by Forellis, has a heart attack from seeing CJ. Yeah, but I found it a little hard to actually feel bad for Johnny. He was a mob boss, and also Johnny also killed the previous guy that worked the casino for him just to replace him with Ken Rosenberg. So that was just Yeah, but I think that probably would you play Hitman 3 Freelancer game mode? It's gonna be released in January, I think. Yes, I will consider playing it. Yes, a few people are actually. You're not the first person to actually ask me about that. People have asked me about that before. Yeah, I was sad over Arthur's death, but I didn't cry. Is there a GTA protagonist that isn't a sociopath or a psycho? Maybe the closest that you would have to a GTA protagonist not being a sociopath or a sociopath would be Luis and Vic. Luis and Vic are the closest characters that you would have to not being a sociopath. The reason that I would say is that Franklin, I would lean more towards Franklin on the sociopath scale. And the reason for that is because Franklin has no problem with crime. That's ultimately why I would lean Franklin towards the more sociopath scale, because Franklin has no problem with really dishonest. Franklin isn't a heartless person. Like, he cares about his friends, but he doesn't really mind getting involved in crime. He's fine with that as long as it, you know, brings in the money and stuff like that. The reason that I would say that Vic and, like, Luis are, you know, less of a sociopath is because Vic and Luis hate crime, and they hate gangsters, and they hate these people, like, a lot of times, like, a lot of these criminals. Like, Vic hates criminals, like, Vic despises criminals. But even though he is a criminal himself, and he's like, he eventually becomes, like, a drug supplier. Like, at the end, like, I don't know if I would call him a drug lord. I don't know. I would refer to Vic as more of a supplier. Like, a drug lord is more like Diaz, so Vic to me is more like a supplier. But the thing about Vic is Vic only did crime because, you know, he didn't see any other opportunity for himself. And so he despised it. Like, he clearly feels bad about it. He despises criminals. Like, he says this isn't right. Like, when Marty forces him to, like, extort the store, he says, Marty, this isn't right. Like, you know, stuff like that. So, like, there's times where Vic has, like, a crisis of conscience. But, like, with Franklin, for instance, Franklin doesn't he doesn't have a lot of opportunity as well, but Franklin never really has a crisis of conscience. He never really says, oh, you know, this is wrong, or, you know, something like that. So that's what I would say about him. Luis, on the other hand, Luis is like a weird GTA character in this regard. And the reason that Luis is kind of weird is because when you really think about it, Luis is the only GTA character that actually has a job. When you think about it, you know, really think about it. He's the only character with a job. Like, only one. Like, Vic, technically, I guess you could say he was in the military, but he got kicked out. Luis still keeps his job. So Luis is the only GTA character that has a legitimate job. He's the only one that has a legitimate job. And he is the only GTA character that is trying to go it straight. And what I mean by that is that he's trying not to be a criminal. He's trying to do everything the right way. That's what I would say about it. Like, he has to get involved in criminals, but, like, the most of the time when he gets involved in criminals, it's because of Tony doing stupid things. So he has to clean up Tony's mess, and so he has to get involved with these people like Rocco and, like, and stuff like that. And even when he goes to see Ray Bulgarin, I guess he goes there for some opportunities, but even when he works for Ray Bulgarin, he doesn't like it. He's like, you know, this is not for me. I don't like this stuff. So Ray Bulgarin is willing to turn him into a millionaire, but even though that, for, like, Luis is like, you know, sure, I'll become a millionaire with this guy, but this is not what I want to do. I don't want to, like, you know, kill people for this guy for my whole life. And so that's, like, I would say that, like, Luis is, like, you know, definitely one of the more moral characters. Like, and the thing is, though, there's people that say that Luis is a psychopath. Luis is not a psychopath by any means whatsoever. Claude is a psychopath. And the reason some people call it Luis a psychopath is because Luis says, you know, don't be a psychopath like me. There's a line he says like that in the game. But he's joking. He's being sarcastic. Luis is not a psychopath. So even though he calls himself a psychopath, he's by no means a psychopath at all. So it's, yeah. Do you think Vendetta was a good mission in World at War? Perfectly portrays the war between the Germans and the Soviets. Nothing but hatred for each other. I do think, yes, the Vendetta was definitely one of the best missions. It was one of the best ones. I don't think that that was the best. That was the best, like, Eastern Front mission in a Call of Duty game. I think, personally for me, I think the best, like, Stalingrad mission in a video game that I've seen, Vendetta was one of the best ones, but the best one is the first mission in Call of Duty Finest Hour. In Call of Duty Finest Hour, in the very first mission, is, you're going on the boat, and as you're going on the boat, you know, all the Soviet soldiers are jumping off when, like, the German Stukas are, like, bombing you, and the Commissar is just, like, shooting at anybody who retreats. So, like, the Soviet soldiers that are trying to escape are just gunned down by their own officers, and then you have to charge towards the machine gun nest, and then there's, like, that thing where they're just, you know, screaming and just all charging towards the German lines, and they're just getting mowed down, and that, I think that was personally, like, the best Stalingrad mission. And then at the end of the mission, when you push up the hill to the German bunker, and you take the swastika down, I think that was, like, the best, Stalingrad mission that I've seen in a video game, personally, is that one. The Saints Row 2 boss did nothing wrong, I'm kidding. Yeah, well, yeah, honestly, I call the Saints Row 2 boss an actual boss. The boss in the reboot is Cringe Boss. That's what I call him. I refer to him as Cringe Boss. Hey, bro, I'm going to bed. Use the cash for good. Thank you, Alien. Thank you, Nick. How would Claude compare to GT Online protagonists? Kind of similar personality. They don't have, they don't have really any they don't really have any conscience. They're willing to do whatever they want, they can for money. So that's what I would say about Claude. Yeah, but I guess I'm gonna wrap this up here. Thank you guys. I'm gonna have a video on Claude eventually coming out, Nick. But just because they're mutes, doesn't mean that they have no personality. I think they still have a personality. But thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I'm sorry that I streamed kind of late today. I apologize for that. I still wanted to keep my promise, and I still wanted to stream today. I just had a long day and just a massive lore video that I was editing today, and I actually passed out earlier. I passed out for 2 to 3 hours, and that's one of the reasons I started the stream kind of late. So I do apologize for that. But I still wanted to do the stream. I didn't want to, I promised you guys I would do a stream today, and I wanted to keep my promise. Use my Toonie for good as well. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you, Art. I agree with you, Pro and Drama. I have to drink daily just to overcome my problem with childhood until 2017. I had a lot to go in my life. I'm really sorry that you had to deal with that, Eric. I hope that everything is better now. Thank you for thank you for the super chat. I heard that whole officers shooting retreated thing was a myth, and that the no step back order was intended for officers, not regular soldiers. No, it was like, I don't, like, about that thing is, it wasn't they were called barrier troops. That's what this is the last thing I'll say. They were called barrier troops. And enemy at the gates, I guess I would say, enemy at the gates might exaggerate it a little bit, like with the soldiers getting mowed, their own officers mowing them down. But it did happen. There was Soviet officers that would gun their own men down. That did happen. So it's not that it didn't happen. But what actually happened is a lot of times when the Soviet soldiers would retreat, they would actually get punished for that. So it's not that they would necessarily get shot. They might actually get shot later, firing squad, but they would be put into penal battalions, which was actually even worse than the regular battalions that they were in. So there would be there would be severe punishments for that. But yeah, it was just that was a lot of the tactics during the Soviet tactics were just to throw everything at the enemy and just overrun them. That was like and that's not just a Soviet tactic, but it's been a tactic that the Russians have used for hundreds of years, is to just really just throw everything at the enemy and just try to overrun them. Yeah, but yeah, the Soviet commissars though were some pretty bad guys. Those were the communist propaganda officers. But yeah, but I guess we'll be going here, guys. Again, I'm sorry for streaming so late today, but I still wanted to do a stream. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys had a lot of fun on my stream. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day, everyone.